You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of this shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Got a big better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the third part of What If Naruto Enters Family Guy. Special note, this fanfic is written in the masterpiece of KFB Anime 87 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. 3 days later. Naruto sighed as he was on Peter distraction duty again. Since Lois started directing The King and I and gotten her cast, Naruto was on constant Peter watch. As in watch him and make sure he doesn't interfere with the play in a bid for attention. Today he had taken Peter, Joe, and Cleveland to a rodeo outside of the city. Step right up, step right up. Which of you brave cowpokes is manly enough to stand up to our fiercest bull? A man yelled for people to attempt to ride a live bull without getting bucked off. I'll do it, Peter yelled without hesitation. Are you serious? Naruto asked, bewildered. Peter, that's a terrible idea, Cleveland said as he shook his head at his friend. Oh, bull riding's in my blood. Just look at my ancestor bull rider Roderick Griffin, Peter said, sure he'd be fine. Was he a fat ass too? Naruto asked as he rolled his eyes. No, you're thinking of my ancestor fat ass Astley Griffin, Peter said nonchalantly as he got onto the bull. Okay sir, here's the rules. You have to last at least a minute to get a prize. If you beat the record of 30 minutes you'll get $500, the man said as Peter mounted the bull. After the man rang the bell, the bull started bucking hard and instantly threw Peter to the ground before going on his hind legs. You know what I was back on the farm? A breeding bull, he said in a gruff voice as he glared at Peter. Why were you called that? Peter asked, confused. You're gonna find out. Hey, where you going, fatty? We're gonna have a party. The bull yelled as Peter tried to run and crawl away, but the bull tackled him as the bull tore off his pants. Cleveland and Joe's eyes widened at this. Shouldn't we stop this? Cleveland asked as he looked at Joe and Naruto. No, wait, stop, Naruto said with a flat tone as he took out his phone, knowing Meg would want to see this. Read the sign, folks, the man running the bull riding attraction said as he pointed to a sign saying, Bull may attempt to breed rider. No one under 18 allowed to ride. Why didn't we see that first? Joe asked, confused, as the sign was pretty big. I did. I just assumed you guys saw it too, Naruto said, still recording this as he sent it to Meg. I got a cabin up in the woods, the bull said over a fetal position and quivering Peter. Maybe I'll bring you up there. Maybe, Peter stuttered out. Maybe you'll call a week ahead of time before you come up, the bull said. I will, Peter stuttered. Maybe you bring a blazer so we can go somewhere nice, the bull told him. I'll bring a blazer, Peter yelled out. Naruto shook his head and chuckled at this as Peter left the ring, still shuddering. So any of your ancestors get bred by bulls before? Naruto asked with a smirk as he sent Meg the video. With Meg. Meg was helping Francine, Roberta, and Haley with a costume for the play before her phone went off for a notification. Naruto sent me something, Meg said as she pulled up the message and played the video. Hey, where you going, fatty? We're gonna have a party. No, I do not consent, Peter yelled. Oh wow, Roberta said as she looked over Meg's shoulder. Roberta, Haley said as she shook her head at her friend. What? I hope Naruto was taking notes, Roberta said with a smile, making Haley and Meg laugh. This city is so weird, Francine said, watching this video as well with them. Weirder than the stuff Dad used to do? Haley asked with an arched eyebrow. Touché, Francine said in response to that before she went back to sewing a costume. Later with Naruto. It was now dusk on Spooner Street and Naruto was returning to his house after his day keeping Peter busy while Lois worked on the play. Naruto opened his door as he chuckled, still laughing about Peter and the bull. Naruto entered his living room and sat down on the couch as he finally calmed his laughter. This was a fun day, he sighed as that was the highlight of his day. Want to make it even better, Foxy? Naruto turned to see Jillian and Lana completely nude. strutting from opposite sides of the living room before they sidled up next to him, sticking their large chests directly in his face with lustful smiles on their faces. Naruto mentally smirked as he moved his hands to their chests and groped one of their melons each, twisting their hardening nipples as the two moaned at his touch. Naruto grinned before he moved one breast of each woman towards his mouth before he started to lick and suckle at their nipples, getting the two women to moan even louder as his tongue and teeth teased their nipples. Next thing both women knew, they were thrown onto the couch, Lana on top of Jillian as the two found themselves straddling each other, while Naruto moved behind Lana as he removed his clothing, tossing his clothes across the room revealing his hardened member. "You worked so hard keeping that moron busy. I'm sure you need a smooth stress relief," Lana said with a smirk as Naruto approached her. "So we're gonna fulfill our duties as your juicidumps," Jillian said excitedly, vibrating in anticipation beneath Lana's stacked body. "God, I love you too," Naruto said with a grin before he slapped Lana's ass, making it jiggle. You gonna smack this fat ass all night, or are you actually gonna do me stud?" Lana asked teasingly as she wiggled her ass enticingly. Naruto smirked at Lana and grabbed her by her hips and thrusted hard, hilting his shaft into her sopping kitty. The hard thrust not only made her jolt forward but also made Jillian beneath her move from the power, making her own sizable chest jiggle and bounce. Naruto saw this and his grin widened before he, without warning, pounded his thick shaft into Lana's tight cunt, his balls slapping against Jillian's own cunt with every thrust as each thrust made Jillian bounce from his hard movements. Lana and Jillian moaned at this as they loved what Naruto was doing to them, though Jillian wished it was her being actually fucked. Naruto, seeing this, moved his hands from Lana's hips around her to grab at Jillian's jiggling melons, taking a hold of them as he continued to slam his hips against Lana's. "Oh f yes," Lana moaned out in pleasure, her tongue hanging out as she felt his shaft slam into her womb while Naruto tweaked Jillian's nipples beneath them. Naruto smirked before he moved a hand from Jillian's melons to the back of Lana's head and pushed her down towards Jillian's panting and moaning face. "Why don't you two put those tongues of yours to work?" he ordered them with a grin. Jillian nodded quickly before she pulled Lana to her and shoved her tongue into her mouth, the two sharing a heated kiss for Naruto's viewing pleasure as drool spilled from their mouths in the intense kiss. Naruto grinned as he felt his release coming from the sight of the two blonde bombshells making out as he prepared to unload into Lana's kitty. "Ah, come on, you hung stud, unload your seed inside me," Lana moaned out as she felt his shaft twitch. "With pleasure, beach," Naruto yelled as he slammed inside her fully one final time as his juice flooded her depths. Lana, feeling his hot juice enter and fill her, made her squirt from her own climax, her juices spraying onto Jillian's stomach from the force of her orgasm. Lana panted as she felt Naruto pull out of her and laid her down on the couch to rest after her intense orgasm. "How would you like to use your bimbo cum dump, Foxy?" Jillian asked with a grin before she found herself lying against the resting Lana, her head wedged in between Lana's knockers as Naruto had her doggy style. "This is the plan, my dear. You just play with your fellow blonde while daddy gives you your turn," Naruto growled before he thrusted hard into Jillian's pussy. Jillian's screams of pleasure were muffled by Lana's chest. Naruto, without any warning or hesitation, proceeded to pound into Jillian, each thrust making Lana's chest bounce while Jillian's ass rippled against his hips. "F I have such good girls," Naruto panted as he started to sweat a little as he thrusted hard into Jillian. "We live to serve daddy," Lana moaned from beneath Jillian as her body bounced with each thrust her fellow blonde took from their lover. "We love you, daddy," Jillian panted between Lana's cleavage as her tongue hung out. Naruto gripped Jillian's ass cheeks hard before he shouted loudly as he fired his seed into her. "Yes!" Jillian screamed as her back arched, her yell of pleasure echoing through the entire street before Lana brought her into another kiss to quell her screams as Naruto's juice flooded her depth. Jillian's own orgasm came at the same time as her juices sprayed across Lana's stomach, just like Lana's did earlier with her. Naruto panted as he pulled out of Jillian and looked at the two blonde bombshells as they made out. "You two make a good team," he panted out as his shaft throbbed. "Wait till we bring Francine in. Imagine 3 hot blondes pleasuring you, stud," Lana said with a grin. Or maybe you want to do Francine with Lois. We know you'd love to do some MILF stud, Jillian said as she giggled at the idea of the two mothers pleasuring Naruto. Naruto growled at this idea before in a show of strength. He placed both women on his shoulders. Let's go wreck the bed, he said as he walked towards his bedroom. Woohoo, wreck us till we can't walk, Foxy, Jillian giggled. Want one of us to wear the red wig like you have Meg do? Lana asked with a smirk. Nah, right now I feel like plowing some hot blondes till their brains are mush, he growled. Do it, do it, do it, Jillian chanted before she squealed in excitement as Naruto threw her and Lana onto his bed and pounced on the two. Their screams of pleasure echoing throughout the night until the next morning. The next day. So Jillian and Lana won't be available as ring girls for your match tonight? Carter asked over the phone while Naruto drove his car. No, they are tired, Naruto said as he chuckled sheepishly. I'll just not read into that. Well, you will need at least one ring girl for your entrance, Carter said. I'm on it. Don't worry, boss, you just make sure the check clears, Naruto said with a confident smile. That's my guy. Good luck, Carter said before he hung up and tried to think of a ring girl. Let's see, I can't use anyone in high school and Carter would murder me if I asked Lois, Naruto muttered to himself before he had an idea. I have one option before I have to really search. Let's hope she'll say yes, Naruto said to himself as he drove back towards Spooner Street. To the Ling, formerly the Smith House. Ling House. So that's all that happened, sis, Francine said to a stunning Asian woman with full pink lips, long black hair, E-cup melons, a curvy body, and a heart-shaped ass. About time you got rid of Stan. Dude gave me the creeps with his drooling over me, the Asian woman said. Everyone does that, men and women, Gwen, Francine said with a chuckle at her sister. Maybe, but there's only one guy I'd ever consider getting with, Gwen answered as she sipped some coffee. This a contact you made with your legitimate businesses? Francine asked curiously. Yeah, guy was barely legal and a virgin, but damn, could he F a beach, right? Kind of wish I didn't have to leave Japan at the time, but oh well, Gwen shrugged before they heard a knock at the door. Ah, that's Haley's boyfriend. Probably here to see her, Francine said as she stood up. Hope he's a upgrade from that hippie dipshit, Gwen said as she shuddered. He keeps several women happy, and yes, Haley is okay with it. Heck, she joins in, Francine said with a laugh as she approached the door and opened it. Come in, Naruto, you can meet my sister, Francine said, letting the blonde in. Gwen choked on her coffee and spat it out at this. Naruto, she yelled in shock. Sure, I can meet your sis, Gwen? Naruto asked in shock at seeing the woman that took his virginity years ago back in Japan. This is Haley's boyfriend? What the F, Franny? Gwen yelled. What? He's a good man, isn't he? Francine asked. Naruto chuckled at this. I don't know, am I, Gwen? He asked with a smirk at the Asian bombshell. Yes, he is. And my own niece got him before I could. Got him it, she muttered the latter bit. I'm down to share, but you're under me and two others rank-wise, Haley said as she came downstairs with a smirk at her aunt. Deal, Gwen said instantly. Don't I get a say in this? Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow at Haley. No, all three women SSID simply. Besides, you know you missed your Asian whore, Gwen purred as she leaned forward, showing off her cleavage to Naruto. So how'd you two meet? Francine asked curiously. Oh, it's simple. I was running a legitimate job in Japan, just selling drinks as a vendor to some bars. Anyways, it turns out it was a Yakuza hangout bar and they took exception to my pricing. So I started to run when they pulled some knives on me. I ran into an alleyway, and before they could do whatever they planned, this 18-year-old blonde kid runs in and slugs a dude in the face. He goes hurtling into another of his buddies, taking them both out. The third guy sees this, and before he can shout anything, he's got a fist in his chin, sending him into an open dumpster, Gwen said with a smirk. After that, I dragged him to my hotel and took his virginity. We didn't leave that room for 5 days. So what brings you here, babe? Looking to play with me? Haley asked Naruto with a smirk as she rolled her eyes at her aunt's story. Actually, I need a favor from your mom. See, I need new ring girls for my next match, and Naruto was saying before. Done, Gwen and Francine yelled in sync. Hey, he was asking me, Francine said as she looked at her sister. Yeah, but we have history, and like I'm gonna say no to being a ring girl for him, Gwen told her sister. Oh, you wanna go, Gwen? Francine glared at her sister, ready to throw down. No need for that. I can use both of you, Naruto said as he held up his hands to calm them. Ooh, oh kinky. First me then my niece, now my sis. You don't do anything by halves, stud, Gwen said with a smirk at Naruto and the double meaning of what he said. Oh stop, I didn't mean I wanted to nail Francine. Unless she's okay with that, Naruto was saying to Gwen before he looked at Francine with a smirk as he knew she was leering at him. That depends. Haley, do I make the cut? Francine asked her daughter. Haley chuckled at this. Tell you what, Mom, how about all three of us take Naruto to your room and the three of us see if we can conquer him? Haley asked as she winked at Naruto. I'm game, Gwen said as she held up her head and smiled. Such a naughty daughter I raised, I'm in, Francine said with a smile of her own. This family is effing crazy. I love it. Naruto grinned before he found Gwen and Francine pulling his arms towards Francine's bedroom. Hey, I get him first. I'm part of his trio of head bitches, Haley yelled as she followed along behind them. Francine's bedroom. Naruto found himself lying down on the bed. Eyes on me, babe. Let's give my mom and aunt a show, Haley said as she crawled onto Naruto and pulled him into a kiss as they started making out. As they swapped spit, Naruto moved his hands along Haley's waist as he grabbed her black tank top and ripped it apart with pure strength, shredding it to ribbons and revealing her lack of a bra. You expected this, Naruto said as he chuckled and gripped Haley by her jean-covered ass as she rubbed herself on his covered shaft. I always expect this around you, Haley said with a grin. I'm still waiting for the day you come in through the window and just take me like a beach in the middle of the night, she smirked. Yup, where do you want it, babe? Naruto asked as he held Haley's hips. Paint my insides white, you beast, Haley moaned out as she looked up at the ceiling, her tongue hanging out of her mouth as she ran her hands through her hair. You got it. One cream pie coming up, Naruto yelled as he unloaded his juice inside her twat. F yes, Haley screamed to the very heavens as she felt an earth-shaking orgasm come over her. Her body spasmed and shuddered as she climaxed on his hardened shaft before she fell onto her back, sliding off his still hard shaft. Good girl. Now I have sisters to play with, so you rest, Naruto said as he kissed Haley on the cheek. Break babe, Haley moaned out as she spasmed a bit from her intense orgasm. Naruto chuckled at this before he looked at Francine and Gwen. So which of you two will I be breaking first? He asked with a cocky grin. The two didn't respond as they looked at his hardened cock, too distracted by the length revealed in full to say anything. F, it's even bigger than when I last fucked him, Gwen said as she licked her lips salaciously. Well, if you're both gonna be silent, Gwen, crawl to me like you used to, Naruto said with a smirk. Yes, sir, Gwen said eagerly before she crawled along the floor to the bed, shaking her thong-covered ass and bra-clad melons the entire way as she crawled and strutted, like a housebit. She crawled onto the bed and started to lick at Naruto's shaft. I think you forgot the rules from when I last fugged you, Naruto said before he grabbed her bra and ripped it to pieces before he tore her thong clean in half. If you have clothes on, expect M to be torn off. Now get to sugging me, whore, he ordered the Chinese woman. Gwen immediately went from licking to sucking on the head of his shaft before her mouth enveloped half of his massive shaft, audibly sucking and gagging on his turgid prick as her tongue swirled around his length. Her moans and gags echo throughout the bedroom for all the occupants to hear. Naruto grunted at this before he looked at Francine and smirked as she just watched with jealousy on her face. Francine, come here, he said firmly. In an instant Francine approached him still in her white bra and panties while awaiting orders as she stood beside him. Naruto beckoned her to lean forward to him as his left hand rested upon the back of Gwen's head during her blowy-job. Francine leaned forward and was surprised when Naruto pulled her close and shoved his tongue into her mouth. However, Francine, having a history of crazy sex and kinks before she married Stan, easily went with it as her tongue fought with his, the two having a fierce tongue war to determine who would be the winner. It was Naruto, though, who won out, as despite Francine having a lot of experience back in the day, she hadn't needed the skill while with Stan, making her a bit rusty in the game of sex and kinks, so to speak. Naruto moved his right hand behind her back and snaked it upwards until he got to her bra before he unclipped it with one hand, letting her large melons free for him to enjoy the sight of. How about you and your sister use your breasts to please the shaft that's gonna destroy you both? Naruto growled into Francine's ear as he pulled away from the kiss. Scooch over, sis, Francine demanded as she kneeled down. Get your own, Gwen said as she licked at Naruto's shaft, not willing to share in the taste. Good girls share and work together. Otherwise you'll get punished, Naruto said as he growled dominantly at the two older women. Fine, but you better do me hard like an Asian whore, Gwen said as she let Francine kneel next to her as the two wrapped their melons around his shaft and held their tits together, moving them up and down along his shaft. Naruto grinned at this before he reached downward and grabbed at Francine's white-colored panties that were still covering her womanly bits. In an instant, Naruto tore them off her body into two pieces. Hey, I liked those, Francine said as Naruto ripped her panties off. I will buy you more now, keep going, Naruto ordered as he pushed Francine's head back to his shaft. Yeah, earn your place in his fog squad, otherwise I'll outdo you, little sister, Gwen said with a smirk. Gwen, get to work with less talk or Francine's panties will be your gag, Naruto told the Chinese woman. Of course, Daddy. I just know how you love it when your beaches try, Gwen said as she and Francine licked at his shaft while pleasing his shaft with their large melons. Naruto felt his balls tighten from their working together. You getting close, stud? You gonna cover this MILF and her slot sister in your hot young juice? Francine asked sultrily with a smirk. I think he is, sis. Better open your mouth wide, otherwise you'll look like a geisha that can't open her eyes, Gwen told her with a smirk as she opened her mouth as wide as she could along with Francine. F, Naruto yelled as he fired his seed at the two, coating their faces and melons as the two swallowed up as much as they could. It's so thick, Francine tried to speak, but couldn't say proper words due to her mouthful of juice. I missed this, Gwen also tried to speak, but couldn't talk due to her own mouthful of juice. Clean each other, Naruto panted out as Gwen and Francine both audibly swallowed his load and started to lick each other clean of the juice that coated their faces and melons, licking at each other like animals in heat. Francine moaned as Gwen and her groped each other. Who you want to break in first, stud? She asked, seeing his shaft throbbed hard at their display. Yeah, the hot Asian whore or the MILF needing a good digging, Gwen asked with a smirk. Naruto growled as he got up. Francine against the wall, he ordered. Yes, sir, Francine said as she stood against the wall back first. Naruto approached Francine and grabbed her roughly by her hips and legs as she turned her around against the wall. With Stan. Stan was climbing up a ladder up to the bedroom window. He had managed to escape from the cell he was in after a prison mixer party. While that happened, he just walked out the door. Now he wanted to try and win Francine back, believing her divorcing him and taking the kids and kicking him out was just a minor setback. Oh, F me, you hung stud, Francine's voice screamed out, making Stan climb faster to the bedroom window. When he peered in, however, he saw a sight that infuriated him beyond measure. Haley nude, cum-filled, and lying down breathing raggedly on the bed in which he slept. Francine's hot sister Gwen naked and fingering herself as she watched the show against the wall. The show of his daughter's immigrant boyfriend plowing his ex-wife against the wall. Shake that ass, your new master likes to watch it bounce, Naruto yelled as he smacked Francine's ass as he roughly did her kitty from behind against the wall. Yes, master, Francine yelled as she shook and wobbled her ass for him enticingly as he slammed his hips against hers. Is he better than Stan, sis? Gwen asked with a smirk as her eyes caught sight of Stan at the window. Yes, he knows how to do a woman unlike that pathetic loser, Francine screamed to the heavens. Good girl, welcome to my little family, Naruto grunted as he thugged Francine against the wall, making her melons smoosh against the wall. Ah, so good, F me through the wall, dent it using me as your cogsock, Francine shouted, lost in pure lust. Stan went red at this and was about to yell, but his ladder shook violently, making him fall to the ground below, landing on the driveway next to Roger, who was the one who shook the ladder. He was wearing an Albuquerque Zoo Discovery shirt, a red vest, black leather pants, and a brown ponytail wig while holding a black metal baseball bat. Roger? Stan groaned out as he broke his leg from the fall and recognized Roger despite his disguise. Naruto paid me to deal with trespassers and you count Stan. So I brought out my most evil persona for this. Now let's break the other leg. Rogers said as he raised his metal baseball bat and slammed it on his other leg, shattering the bone with one swing and making him cry out in pain. All while the words Ricky Spanish echoed via the wind with his strike. Back with Naruto. Naruto grunted deeply as he gripped Francine's hips as he slammed into her pussy. Prepare yourself for my seed, Naruto growled into Francine's ear as she panted helpless to stop him, not that she would want to. Yes, Master Stud Daddy, Francine exclaimed, too fucked out of her mind to comprehend what she was supposed to call him anymore. Ugh, I like that name, Naruto yelled before he fired his seed into Francine just as she climaxed on his shaft. His juice and her juices intermingled as Francine violently shook from her first ever orgasm in nearly 18 years. When Naruto pulled out, Francine's legs wobbled before she slid against the wall and fell to the floor, her kitty leaking juice onto the carpet beneath her as she basked in the afterglow of her mind and body getting fugged to utter mush. Gwen clapped, getting Naruto's attention. Good job, stud. You wrecked my little sister, Gwen told him teasingly as she stood up in front of the bed to clap. On the bed, Gwen, I missed you, and I want to make sure you're still a tight whore, Naruto said. Gwen smirked at this as she fell onto the bed, laying on her back as she spread her legs wide and pulled her kitty apart with her hands. Naruto smirked at this before he got on top of Gwen and thrusted hard into her cunt. Oh yes, I missed this shaft spearing me, Gwen immediately shouted as the familiar feeling of being fugged by Naruto came flooding back for the first time in years. Naruto grinned as he pawed at one of her melons and held it. You're still tight as hell, he said. I know what my man likes. Spent wrecking Haley, Francine, and Gwen in bed. Naruto's boxing match was getting closer and closer to its start time. While Naruto was getting ready, Meg was making her way to the private booth of her grandfather. Meg knocked on the door for the booth's door to be opened by a servant in a tuxedo. Mr. Peterschmidt is not expecting any visitors. What is it you need? The servant asked blandly. I'm his granddaughter, and this involves his family name and his son-in-law, Meg said with a slight smirk, knowing this would get her grandfather's attention. Send her in, Carter's voice rang out from behind the servant. Mr. Peterschmidt will see you now, the servant said yet again in boredom as Meg passed him. Ah, Megan, I had heard you were taking more after your mother. Now what can I do for you? You said it involved your fat-ass father? Is he dead? Please tell me he's dead, Carter asked almost beggingly as he took a sip of wine. No, but Mom's nearing her limit with him, and I'm here to ask you if I can change my last name to Peterschmidt. Meg told him, not beating around the bush and making Carter cough in surprise at the request. What? Carter asked after getting his breathing under control. Let's be honest, the fat ass's name is just gonna be an anchor on my life with how much crap he gets into. I'd rather have a name that would help me rather than hurt me. On top of that, I'd rather continue the Peterschmidt name with any kids I have in the future than with the name Griffin, Meg told him honestly. Carter looked at Meg and saw in her eyes she was serious about this. Never before have I been so pleased with anything a member of my family has said to me. All right, not only will I let you use my last name, I'm gonna do one better. I've heard you've been doing amazing in your classes, correct? Carter asked. Straight as past 4 years, Meg said with a proud smile. Excellent. Then I shall also name you the sole heir to my company and fortune, Carter told her, making her eyes wide. What? Meg asked wide-eyed as she didn't expect this. You are clearly the best choice in terms of an heir aside from your mother. She wouldn't accept the position. Chris I love, but he's too much like his father intelligence-wise. Stewie's a baby, and I'd rather die than even think about the fat ass in my chair. Not to mention Carol is. Has anyone seen Carol actually? Carter asked before shrugging. Oh well, I'm sure she's fine. Now what do you say? He asked. Meg thought about this offer and was surprised. I'll take the offer, but I want you to at least promise on your name that you will at least help look after Mom, Chris, and Stewie when things go bad because of the fat ass, Meg told him. You've got a deal. Especially 'cause I'll get to see the fat ass embarrass himself, which is just like Christmas to me, Carter agreed with a grin. Perfect. Well, I'll leave you to watch Naruto's bout then, Meg said as she made to leave. Nonsense, as my heir you are welcome to watch the match with me. Plus, you are my granddaughter, Carter said with a smile as he patted a matching luxurious seat next to him. Meg smiled as she joined her grandfather to watch her boyfriend's match. Champagne? The bland servant asked Meg, holding up a bottle to her. Meg smiled at this and took a glass and took a sip. So tell me, is that harem rumor true about Naruto? Carter asked Meg curiously and making Meg choke on her champagne at the personal question. Cough. Why would you ask Grandpa? Meg asked. Just making sure he actually cares about you, Carter was saying. Relax, Grandpa. He cares about me and my fellow lovers. Plus, he beat up the fat ass several times already, Meg told him. Tell me you have some recordings of him beating up Peter? Carter begged, as he'd enjoy watching his top boxer beat the hell out of his fat son-in-law. Meg smirked as she pulled up her phone and put on a recent video of Naruto beating the hell out of Peter. With Naruto. Naruto was standing in front of a mirror in his locker room, shadowboxing as he got ready for his match. After I take out Chuck, I've got one more match to get my title bout, he thought, focused on his goal. They are ready for you, stud, Francine said as she and Gwen entered the room wearing red skimpy bikinis with red devil horns on their heads and devil tails attached to their bikini bottoms along with red thigh-high heeled boots. Good. Time to show the world how much of a demon I can be, Naruto smirked as he walked away from the mirror. Boxing ring. Ladies, gentlemen, and that technicolor rainbow in between, draw your eyes to the center ring. We have a very special presentation in store for you. An announcer yelled into a microphone from his spot in the boxing ring. Already in the ring accompanied by his wife Amanda Rebecca Cunningham. Please welcome at 235 pounds, Chuck Cunningham. The announcer yelled, gesturing to a slicked-back dark brown-haired man with green eyes and a chin-strap beard wearing blue boxing shorts next to a woman with long brown hair down to her back, wearing a black skirt and white blouse. She had E-cup Melanza curvy model body and a plump ass. And his opponent. The announcer yelled as rock music started to play. Play Let the Madness Begin by Fozzy. Red smoke started to fill the entrance to the ring as a large red curtain opened up revealing Naruto wearing red boxing shorts and a long red trench coat. Francine and Gwen hanging on his arms. Francine and Gwen escorted Naruto down the runway, getting catcalls from men in the crowd only to stop partway down the runway and kissing Naruto on his cheeks as they pulled off his long red coat. Naruto shadow punched the air a bit as he got into the ring while Francine and Gwen stepped onto the apron, each holding one of his crimson-red boxing gloves to their massive chests. Naruto smirked as he inserted his hands into the gloves and let his ladies strap them onto his hands before he turned to his opponent. Riptide, 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 Riptide. Many of the fans cheered out, having a clear favorite in this match and making Chuck frown at being seen as the underdog. And his opponent. At 212 pounds, Quahog's Riptide, Naruto Uzumaki. The announcer yelled into his microphone before he exited the ring for a referee to enter instead. All right, boys, I want a good clean match, the referee told the two boxers, who nodded as the bell rang. I'm not going to be as easy as your last match, kid, Chuck told him before inserting his mouthguard. You know I'd take that seriously if your wife wasn't currently IFing me, Naruto told him with a smirk before he put in his mouthguard. Chuck growled at this as he glared at his wife, who was talking to Francine and Gwen. I swear to God he tore me, my sis, and her teenage daughter up for 3 hours straight, Gwen said to Chuck's wife with a grin, and after that he took me like a beach in heat. Amanda looked at Naruto and smirked a little at him before she unbuttoned 2 of the buttons on her blouse when she saw him looking at her. Chuck's rage growing, he stepped up to Naruto and sent a flurry of punches into Naruto's stomach. Lefts and rights raining while Naruto just stood there taking the shots like nothing. Naruto just looked on at Chuck boredly. If that's the best you can do, no wonder your woman wants me, he said through the mouth guard before he moved his head forward and turned his Chuck a free shot at his face. I'll give you 1 free shot at my face. Make it count, cause if you waste it, Naruto was saying before Chuck's fist connected with Naruto's face, getting silence from the crowd as Naruto didn't even budge. "You're gonna regret it," Naruto uttered with a vicious grin before he slammed his fist into Chuck's stomach, making the man hunch over and spit out his mouth guard. "For every hit I let you give, I'll match it," Naruto told him before he sent a quick flurry of body shots at the brown-haired man, making him choke and gag from each and every shot. After the stomach shots were finished and Chuck was on wobbly legs, Naruto smirked before sending one final right cross punch into the man's face and sending the man to the floor. The referee started ringing the bell signaling a TKO. "The winner, the Riptide, Naruto Uzumaki," the announcer yelled. Naruto chuckled as he held his fist up in victory before he locked eyes with Amanda and smirked at her. "You doing anything after this?" he asked with a smirk as he checked her out and pulled out his mouthpiece. The woman looked at the ring on her finger before she quickly pulled it off and chucked it onto her unconscious soon-to-be ex-husband. "I'll be spreading my legs for you," she said with a smirk. "Francine, let's both be dears and send this new playmate to our stud's place," Gwen said with a grin as they grabbed Amanda and walked off, leaving Naruto to bask in his victory. "With Meg and Carter." "Yes," Meg cheered, seeing her boyfriend win his match. "That woman he just seduced looks oddly familiar," Carter mused. "Really?" "Hold on," Meg said as she took out her phone and snapped a picture of Amanda before she used the app to identify her, and when she looked at the results she chuckled. "Oh, she's a porn star who has her vids disguised as marital aid videos. Why did she seem familiar, Grandpa?" Meg asked after a moment of realization. "I'll buy you a car if you don't tell your grandmother," Carter offered. "I want a savings account with a monthly allowance too," Meg said with a grin. Carter chuckled at this and nodded. "Definitely a Pewterschmidt," he said as he agreed instantly. "Good. Hey babe, you better make that beach submit," Meg yelled at Naruto as he was leaving the ring. Naruto turned to Meg and held out a thumbs up to her as he walked to his locker room. At Naruto's house. Naruto walked into his house and up the stairs to see Gwen and Francine outside his bedroom door in their devilish bikinis smoking some cigarettes. "She's in your room, stud," Gwen told him with a grin. "Gotta say I'm almost jealous of her and what you're gonna do to her," Francine said with a giggle. "Don't be sis-me, and you can play at your house," Gwen said with a smirk. "True, or maybe we can fool around in one of the rooms here. I'm sure our stud would love to hear us moaning while he pounds his newest slot." Stupid, Francine grinned. "There's a free room next door. I would offer you the one to the left, but Meg and Roberta share that one," Naruto told them as his shaft was starting to harden from their words. "Go get her, stud," Gwen said as she kissed Naruto's cheek. "When you're done with her, our holes are open and ready for you," Francine told him as she licked his other cheek like a pet. Naruto growled at this as he entered his room and slammed the door shut, cracking the door from the force. "He's gonna break us later for that," Gwen said as she finished her cigarette. "Yup, I can't wait," Francine giggles in excitement. Naruto's bedroom. Naruto walked into his room and saw Amanda sitting on his bed in a suit, her hair in a bun and wearing glasses. "Are you doing a naughty librarian thing?" Naruto asked curiously as he took off his shirt. "I'm Dr. Amanda Rebecca, sir, and I've heard from your wife that you've been having trouble in your marriage," the woman said. What?" Naruto asked, confused on where this was going. "Luckily, I've asked her to step out for some one-on-one time with you," she said as she stood up from the bed and started to approach him. As soon as she stood up, she threw her glasses aside and undid the hair tie in her hair, letting it cascade down her back. Naruto smirked at this as he got what she was doing. "So do you want me to talk or take my top off?" she asked with a sultry look on her face as she undid a button of her blouse. "Heh, show me those jugs, baby," Naruto told her. "That's what I thought." "You're making me so hot," Amanda said with a grin as she undid her blouse, revealing her black bra holding her boobs in place. "I hope you like big melons, cause this itty-bitty bra can barely contain them," she said as she unclasped her bra hooks and slowly started to let her bra off teasingly. Naruto growled as his shaft throbbed at her teasing, and next thing he knew he had tackled her onto the bed, his right hand fondling her massive chest as he ripped her bra away from her. Amanda laughed at this before she squealed when she felt his lips attached to one of her pink nipples, suckling at her teat while his hands gripped and groped at her large melons. "My love, a pair of big natural melons," Naruto growled as he pulled down his pants with his free hand, discarding his pants and underwear in one fell swoop and revealing his massive shaft. "What are you gonna do with that big, fat, hard shaft, stud?" Amanda purred out as she licked her lips at the sight of his member. "I'm gonna F you long and hard. Now lose the skirt unless you want me to rip it off you," Naruto ordered. "Are you man enough to rip them off of me?" Amanda asked sultrily with a smirk on her lips as she thrust her hips up and down as if to entice him to do exactly that. Naruto growled as he reached for her skirt and rip. The sound of tearing clothing echoed around the room as Naruto tore not only her skirt but her black panties beneath her clean in two. "Yes, finally a real man," Amanda giggled as Naruto got on top of her. Finally she'd have a real man plow the hell out of her. Naruto grunted as without any warning he slammed his shaft inside her cunt, thrusting all the way into her without any warning. "Ah!" Amanda screamed with a bright grin as she wrapped her legs around his hips. Naruto smirked down at his latest conquest before he started to jackhammer his hips into her, each thrust making her massive melons bounce into the woman's face. "You can play with them if you want, stud. They belong to you." Amanda moaned out, feeling her most sensitive spots being assaulted over and over again. Naruto grinned as he leaned his head down to one of her bouncing melons and sank his teeth onto one of her nipples, nibbling on it while he jackhammered into her tight cunt. "Oh, F," Amanda yelled in pure pleasure as she felt his teeth teasing her sensitive nipple, making the woman scream from his actions. Naruto moved his hands, however, as he nibbled on her melons and grabbed at her chest cannons, holding them in place as he started to switch between her two nipples, licking and biting each one while his hips hammered away at her twat. "I own you now," Naruto grunted out at the brunette bombshell after removing his teeth for a brief moment from her areola. "Understand?" he asked firmly. "Yes," Amanda yelped out as she felt her most sensitive spots coming under fire, her impending orgasm starting to occur from his actions. "You safe to finish in?" Naruto grunted out as he felt his climax coming. "Not a safe D-Day? Juice on my chest," Amanda pleaded. Naruto grunted as he pulled out and stood over her and started to beat his shaft hard, preparing to finish on her melons. "Come on, stud, mark these as yours," Amanda purred out as she held up her melons like an offering. "Take it," Naruto yelled as he fired his load onto her voluptuous body, coating her face and melons in his hot seed. The feeling of his juice covering her made Amanda finally lose control as she let her orgasm out, spraying her juices all over Naruto's bed sheets. "That felt so good," Amanda moaned as she shuddered. "Clean yourself up and don't waste a drop," Naruto panted as he recovered. "Yes, sir," Amanda yelled cheerily as she moved her melons up towards her lips and started to lick at her juice-covered melons. Naruto smirked at this as Amanda cleaned herself up, putting on a show for him. "So my dear, what is your job? A woman as fine as you couldn't have just been arm candy for that moron?" Naruto asked as he put his shaft in front of her lips. Amanda smirked as she started to lick at his shaft, teasing him. "Well, I used to make videos," she said as she took a long lick up the length of his shaft. "You were a pawn star?" Naruto asked, surprised. "Well, I got naked and played with toys. Sometimes I even covered my body in whipped creams and other dessert toppings. So more of a peep show really," Amanda said as she nibbled on the head of his shaft teasingly. "Oh, so that's how you are so good at being a tease," Naruto said with a chuckle. "Don't worry, stud, I'm only gonna be taking your shaft from now on just like your other lovers," Amanda told him before she swirled her tongue around his coghead. "Good girl. Now, what do you want to do now?" Naruto asked. "What does my new stud want to do?" she asked teasingly. Naruto smirked before in an instant he flipped Amanda onto her hands and knees. "I want to tear up this fat ass," he told her as his shaft rested in between her ass crack. "I never had anal before," Amanda moaned as she smirked at Naruto over her shoulder as she rolled her ass against his shaft. "An ass this fine and your ex didn't claim it?" Naruto questioned, surprised. "Sadly not. You want to take a crack at it?" Amanda asked teasingly before she shook her ass at him, making her ass wobble a bit. Without any word of warning, Naruto grabbed her by her hips and with a savage thrust slammed his shaft inside her tight, unclaimed asshole, impaling the woman with his thick shaft. Holy effing shit, Amanda yelled at the feeling of her ass being stretched. Too much for you, love? Naruto smirked as he let her get used to his shaft. Amanda scowled at this before she looked back at Naruto. You do what you want, stud, I can take it, she told him. Good, now bounce that ass for me, Naruto told her as he slapped her left ass cheek and made it jiggle, as if the slap was a go-ahead sign for her. Amanda, not wanting to have her pride questioned, started to twerk and bounce her ass against his abs and hips, thrusting her ass back and forth on his massive prick to show she could take whatever he threw at her. Naruto smirked down at Amanda before he let loose a flurry of slaps on her bouncy ass, reddening her cheeks with each slap, and making the woman beneath him mewl in unrestrained pleasure. The sounds of their love-making were heard throughout the night, and more voices were heard to join in throughout. A few days later, Naruto was over at the Griffin family household, him and Ellie having been invited for dinner by Lois. Meg was in the kitchen helping Lois with preparation for dinner, despite her protests. While Meg was helping her mom, Naruto was in the living room watching TV with Peter, Chris, Brian, and Ellie. I love this show, Peter smiled as he and Chris watched their favorite show Gumball to Gumball Beach Justice, a cop show. You seen one cop show, you seen 'em all, Naruto shrugged. The show was okay at best, nothing too spectacular. Are you kidding? This show is great. It will probably go on for years, Peter told him. Actually, Peter, it's on the list of cancelled shows that was posted today, Brian said as he held up his phone. What? Peter yelled in horror as he grabbed Brian's phone. No, he yelled in horror as he threw the phone out the window and hitting a passerby in the face. Damn it, Peter, Brian yelled as he ran outside to see if his phone was damaged. I don't see the big deal. A lot of shows get cancelled. If it's super popular with a big following, it'll get revived, Naruto said as he shrugged. It was a show about bike cops on a beach. This was really not worth the complaints. Come on, Chris, we're gonna try and get our favorite show back on the air, Peter told his son. I'm with you, Dad. Are we gonna write a letter? Chris asked. A letter? No, that'll never work. I got a better idea. Let's roll, Peter said as the two left and nearly tackled Brian. This will so go well, Stewie said from his seat on the floor with his toys. Preach, little man, Naruto said with a grin at the baby. Do I want to know? Brian asked as he came back inside with his luckily undamaged phone. Probably not, Naruto said with a shrug. Dinner's ready, Lois called from the kitchen before seeing Peter and Chris were gone. Where's Chris and Peter? She asked. Something about saving their favorite show from cancellation, Naruto said simply as he walked over to the kitchen with the others and sat next to Meg and Lois. Oh God, that stupid Gumball to Gumball show? Lois asked as she rolled her eyes. Yeah, be prepared for your husband to do something stupid and dragging Chris along with him, Naruto said boredly. Well, when this goes bad, at least my name change went through, Meg said with a sigh, glad her grandfather made it official a few days ago. We'll all just have to wait and see what they do, Ellie said, as there was no use dwelling on the unknown. A few days later. It was a normal day in the neighborhood and Naruto was driving home with Meg, Roberta, and Haley. What the crap? Naruto asked as he parked his car, seeing a crowd of people on the Griffin family yard. I'm not dealing with this, Meg deadpanned as she walked towards Naruto's house. No way in hell was she dealing with whatever crap her father was involved in. But before she could enter Naruto's house, Peter opened his door. You can all go home. I cured my son. I have magical powers. Okay, have a safe drive, Peter yelled before he slammed his door. Okay, what? Roberta asked, finding this odd even for them. I don't know and I don't want to know, Meg sighed. Hey buddy, what's going on? Naruto asked a man in a business suit that was leaving the front yard. Oh, we're from the TV network. We were here because of a sick boy who just wanted his favorite show back on the air. We came to check in on him since he should have been dying soon, as that's what his father said. However, now it seems like the boy is healthy from a divine miracle, the man explained. Naruto blinked in surprise at this while Meg groaned and slapped her forehead. I see. Thank you for your time, Naruto said, trying to unpack all of that. The man nodded at this as he left with the other people. Okay, wow Meg, I think this betters my dad in terms of stupidity, Haley said as she looked at her friend. I don't know. Peter does very, very stupid crap, but he didn't make his daughter a sleeper agent, Roberta pointed out. Let's just say they are both stupid. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go pay Peter a what do you call it? Naruto asked. A visit? Haley asked curiously. Beating. That's it. Gonna pay him a beating, Naruto said as he walked towards the Griffin house. Wear a helmet, I think Mom may lose it when she finds out, Meg said as Naruto approached the house. You did what? Lois' voice bellowed from behind the door as Naruto entered. Calm down, Lois. Everything's fine now. We got our show back, Chris isn't dead, and the people are off our lawn. I consider this a victory, Peter said as he took a sip of beer. Except that you claim to be able to cure diseases, which will invoke consequences from those who believe in such things, such as the overly religious and spiritual, Brian pointed out deadpan. He was an atheist, but he could see this becoming a problem. Come on, what's the worst that can happen? Peter asked. And thus we revel, Stewie said with a sigh as he watched the family argue while Lois had to calm Naruto from beating up Peter. The next day, Naruto walked out his door and saw people making a large gold statue of Peter on his lawn, along with many worshipping Peter as a god. Hey Meg, don't go home tonight, babe, Naruto yelled inside to Meg. Like I was gonna, Meg yelled from inside the house. None of us planned to, Haley yelled from inside as well. Fair enough, Naruto chuckled before it started to rain. Wasn't it supposed to be sunny all day? He asked only to see it start to rain frogs. What the effing hell? Naruto asked aloud and making his girls come to the window and door to watch. Are those frogs? Roberta asked as her and the other girls came outside to see what was going on. Did you order from a Chinese food place, babe? Jillian asked, thinking frogs were Chinese cuisine. You mean French? Lana asked. These frogs are from France? Jillian asked with a head tilt. Not important, Lana sighed. Stop worshipping me. I'm a fake like the moon landing, Peter yelled as he came outside with Lois, Chris, Stewie, and Brian. However, as soon as they exited, lightning hit the statue and sent it falling over. Onto Chris, crushing him and slowly killing him. Oh my God, Chris! Lois yelled in horror to see her son being crushed. All right, I'm sorry. I am not a god. He was never sick, Peter yelled at the gathered people. Oh, for fug's sake, are people in this town that retarded? Naruto yelled as he approached the house and started to try and lift the statue off of Chris. Come on, get off of him, Naruto grunted as with sheer force of power and will he manage to push the massive statue off of Chris. Suddenly the storm stopped and the sun came out. Looks like the plagues are gone, Brian said with a sigh of relief. So is the white light, Chris said as he stood up after Naruto helped him to his feet. You saw a white light? Naruto asked curiously. Yup, here's a tidbit, no sign of Robin Williams, Chris said with his oblivious smile. If he isn't in heaven, then I'd rather be in hell, Peter yelled. Before Naruto slugged him in his chin. You owe God an apology, fat ass, Naruto growled. Fine, I'm sorry and thank you God. I mean thank me, Peter chuckled. Before a frog jumped on his face. Ah, joke, it was a joke, Peter yelled as he ran around in a panic, until he felt someone punch him in the stomach. Now many would assume that this was Naruto if they hadn't witnessed the event. Lois, what the hell? Peter yelled as he held his stomach as the frog on his face jumped away. You selfish, reckless son of a beach, Lois yelled as she got directly in his face, glaring at him with pure fury in her eyes. What's your problem? Everything is fine now, so get off my back, Peter yelled before Lois sent a punch at his face, knocking him down. You have done reckless things time after time after time, and each time I forgave you. But this time your arrogance nearly killed our son. And it's like you don't even care. You're joking around after begging literal effing God to save him. You act like you care, but you don't. Lois yelled after dealing with over 16 years of this bullshit and finally having enough of the fat bastard. Hey, I love my son, Peter yelled back at her. Yeah, but your priorities are shit, Naruto said. Bingo, Brian said flatly. Yup, Meg chirped up flatly from behind Naruto. Perfectly put, Stewie said with a nod. True, Ellie said blandly, as well walking over to them. See, they see it. You're the only one who doesn't see it, Peter. If you truly cared about your family, you wouldn't have done this in the first place, Lois told him after taking a breath. Well, what do you want from me? Peter yelled. Lois sighed at this as she finally made her decision. Oh shit, here it comes, Meg said with a smirk, knowing what was coming. I want you out of the house, Peter. We're done. I can't stand around idly by and give you chance after chance to nearly get me and our kids killed, Lois told him firmly. What? But where will I go? Peter demanded. You can get a motel or something, Naruto pointed out. Stay out of this. You just want to bang my wife, Peter glared at Naruto. Well, not when she is your wife, Naruto said with a chuckle. You son of a bitch, Peter glared before he stood and punched Naruto in the face due to his anger. Doing nothing yet again to Naruto. How many times do I need to teach you this lesson? Naruto asked boredly, as if there wasn't a fist in his face. Naruto reached up and grabbed Peter's wrist with his hand before. Crack! The loud sound of snapping bone echoed throughout the neighborhood while Peter wailed in agony. And ringtone saved, Meg said with a smirk as she held up her phone. Pack your bags, Peter. We're done, Lois told him as she walked back into the house with Stewie. Fine, I don't need any of you. Let's go, Brian, Peter said, cradling his broken wrist. Peter, there is no, Brain was saying before he was cut off. There is no way in hell my man is going with you, Ellie barked out, baring her teeth at the fat man. You may have saved him from the streets, but your actions have almost killed him time after time, Ellie growled out. Hey Whiskers, get your beach under control, Peter yelled. Ellie growled even louder at this before she leapt at Peter, trying to bite at his unbroken arm. Ellie, feel free to deal with him. He's on private property, Naruto smirked. Think fast, fat ass, Meg yelled as she threw a packed suitcase at her father. You had that packed and ready? Wow, Naruto said, impressed. Mom works fast to get rid of trash from the house. Right now she's calling Grandpa to help get a team of divorce lawyers, Meg said simply with a smirk, as Ellie finished biting Peter's arm and walking off of him, blood dripping from her teeth. You can't do this. This is my home. I helped pay for it, Peter yelled. What's going on here? Joe asked as he got out of his cop car just after he arrived home. Peter nearly got Chris killed and Lois is divorcing him now. So she's booting him to the curb, Naruto explained calmly to Joe. Ah, domestic dispute, got it. Okay, Peter, you have to leave. I'll drop you off at a hospital, then a hotel, but you can't stay here, Joe said simply. What the hell are you talking about? This is my house, Peter yelled. It's in my name, Peter, Lois shouted down at him from a window, knowing Peter had terrible credit and reputation, so the house was put in her name. Peter, let's go, Joe told him as he helped Peter up and helped him over to his cop car. This is your fault. I'll make you pay for this, Peter yelled at Naruto in anger. Looking forward to it, Naruto said with a bored tone. Drop by sometime to hear your soon-to-be ex-wife shouting my name instead of faking saying yours, Naruto mocked him. Peter went red in anger at this before Joe pushed him into his car before driving him off as Lois went outside to watch him get driven away. Well, that was fun, Meg said, having recorded every detail. Are you doing okay? Naruto asked Lois, knowing this was a big step. Yeah, I'm fine, Naruto. I'll be better when I get through this divorce. Luckily, Daddy got me 10 lawyers to take down Peter in divorce court, Lois said with a smile. Plus you have us to back you up too, Naruto pointed out before his phone started to ring. It's Mr. Peterschmidt. He then answered the phone and put the phone to his ear. What's up, boss? Naruto asked. Naruto, my boy, I've never been happier in my life, Carter shouted in absolute glee. Not only do I have your next opponent, but I also have you to thank for getting Lois to be rid of the fat ass, Carter exclaimed happily. Lord, how he and his wife hated Peter. No problem. So who's my next opponent? Naruto asked. You're up against a boxer named Jason Hook. He was a boxer in Langley Falls, but recently moved to Quahog. Carter told. Beat him, and you get your title match. Jason Hook? Alright, I'll look him up. Thanks, boss, Naruto said before looking up his next opponent. Oh, you've gotta be effing kidding me, Naruto deadpanned. What's up, babe? Meg asked curiously as she looked over his shoulder at his phone. To see Roger in a white boxer's outfit and wearing a black wig and black goatee. Oh, this will go well, Naruto said as he groaned. Where is he anyways? Naruto asked, having not seen him for days. With Roger. Roger was still dressed as Ricky Spanish and torturing Stan in an abandoned warehouse. After Roger finished using a car battery on the nude Stan, his phone rang. Hello? Yes, this is Jason Hook. You want me to have a bout with the Maelstrom? You got it, Roger grinned. Oh, he had an easy way to make money now. After he hung up, he turned to look at Stan, who was out of his binds and halfway through the back window. Oi, where are you going? Get back in here, he yelled as he grabbed Stan and tried to bring him back in. However, Stan was able to escape, naked and screaming in the night as he fled from Roger. Aw man. Now I've got all these torture items I have to return, Roger groaned, looking at a pile of unused equipment. A few days after Peter's power trip of pretending he was a god and the near death of Chris, the Griffin family was on edge. Peter had been ejected from the family house as Lois started the divorce proceedings. Currently, the court date for the divorce was about 2 weeks away, but that didn't mean the family was in the best of states. Meg was pretty much done with any of Peter's bullshit, so she was just ignoring him whenever she saw him around. Usually whenever he would sit in his car on the street and glare at the Griffin house or Naruto when he was walking along the street or leaving his house. Lois was busy with her piano teaching lessons, taking care of Stewie, the divorce, and her current bid to become school board president. Stewie had no care whatsoever. He was just enjoying the peace of not having the fat man around and stealing his food. Brian, meanwhile, was helping out by getting a job at a car dealership and ignoring Peter's attempts to drag him into any plans he had, especially due to Peter's attempts to hold over that he saved Brian from the streets. Luckily, Ellie was usually around whenever Peter tried to pull that shit and would end up chasing him off. Nobody wanted to have their crotch bitten into by an enraged dog after all. Currently, Naruto was at the Griffin house babysitting Stewie for Lois while she was going to do some work for her campaign. So what device did you build this time, Stewie? Naruto asked the genius toddler curiously as he sat in the living room with the toddler. Oh, I had built a delightful weapon that melted the bones from within the human body. I was planning to use it for those who defy me in the future when I take over. Unfortunately, the fat man saw it when he came for some of his clothes and tried to juggle it and shattered it. Stewie grumbled out as he was now trying to rebuild his device. Well, how about we watch TV? Naruto suggested. Do you think some inane drivel is going to appease me? Nonsense. I will not be swayed like the fat man or any other fools. Besides, my work is far more important, Stewie told him. I can put on Jolly Farm Review, Naruto said with a smirk, knowing Stewie loved that show. I suppose an episode or two wouldn't hurt to watch, Stewie said before hopping onto the couch as Naruto put on the show for the toddler. He may be smart, but he's still a kid, Naruto thought with a chuckle as the phone began to ring for the Griffin family household. I'll answer that, I guess, and let Lois know who it was, Naruto said as he went into the kitchen to pick up the phone. Hello, Griffin residents, can I take a message? Naruto asked. He did what now? All right, I will inform Mrs. Griffin when she returns. Thank you, Principal Shepard. All right, bye. Naruto hung up. Ah, Christ, Naruto groaned aloud before he sat down on the couch with Stewie. What did the lummox do this time? Stewie asked with a raised eyebrow. Never you mind, wait a minute. How do you know it's Chris? Naruto asked. Megan lives with you, so it wouldn't be about her. Not to mention she has strayed as and is picking up notoriety after being declared heir to the Peterschmidt fortune, and I'm 1 year old. By process of elimination, it was either the fat man or the lummox, and seeing it was the worthless fool of a principal's, I assumed it was the lummox, Stewie said blandly. Meg is what? Naruto asked as this was news to him. You didn't know? After she got her name changed, our grandfather had decided to name her his heir and has been teaching her the ins and outs of Peterschmidt Industries, Stewie said with a raised eyebrow. If you didn't know that it does bring up what you and your women speak of after the coitus, Stewie said boredly. Okay, new subject. You doing okay with your dad being gone? Naruto asked, wanting a change of subject. I'll be pleased once the fat man isn't staring into the window from across the street or trying to climb through my window at night, Stewie said boredly. Memo to me, talk to your mom and grandpa about security for the house, Naruto muttered. I recommend lethal force. Perhaps a mounted turret, Stewie suggested with a slight smirk. Naruto snorted at this, finding this funny, before the front door opened and Lois came inside. I'm back. How is my baby? Lois asked with a smile at Stewie. He was perfect, Lois. Absolutely great. We just hung out for the most part. How'd your campaign work go? Naruto asked. It went okay. It would have been better had Peter not shown up and tried to appeal to me about the divorce, Lois sighed out. Again? The guy is either stupid or stubborn, Naruto said as he shook his head. It's both, Lois said flatly, shaking her head. Either way, I really hope I win, considering Betsy LeBeau is against performing background checks on teachers, Lois said as she entered the kitchen to get some water. The fuck? That's a selling point? Naruto asked, finding this ridiculous. You seem to forget people in this city are idiots, Stewie said blandly. They're stupid, and then there is retard level, little man, Naruto said as he patted Stewie once on the head before following Lois into the kitchen. By the way, Principal Shepard called the house phone. I took a message for you, but apparently Chris was caught peeking at a classmate changing in the girls' locker room. He said to meet him in his office tomorrow morning before class, Naruto told her. Lois frowned at this before sighing. I suppose I'll have to straighten this out and come up with an appropriate punishment for Chris. Thanks, Naruto, Lois said. No problem. Anything else you need from me? Naruto asked. Lois thought about this and chuckled in a suggestive way. Child present, Naruto said, pointing at the living room where Stewie was. Before turning and seeing Stewie was no longer in the living room. Huh? He was just there, Naruto questioned, surprised at not seeing Stewie there and walking towards the living room. As he did this, Peter entered the kitchen through the side door with Chris. All right, now since your mother is out, we're just gonna grab a few of my things, Chris. Mainly my beers and my TV, Peter said, not seeing Lois. Peter, we went over this with Daddy's lawyers already, Lois said with an edge in her voice, making Peter freeze. Ah, Lois, when did you get here? Peter asked as Lois glared at him and readied to yell at him. While this was happening, Naruto was in the living room. Stewie, where did you go? Huh? What's this? Naruto asked as he spotted a note on the couch. Dear idiotic family members and the whiskered one, I have decided to go and live with the children on Jolly Farm. Goodbye forever. P.S. I never got a chance to return that sweater Lois gave me for Christmas. I left it on the top of my bureau. I'm probably over the 30-day return limit, but I'm sure if you make a fuss they'll at least give you a store credit or something. It's not a horrible sweater. It's just I can't imagine when I would ever wear it, you know. Oh, I also left a button on the bureau. I'm not sure what it goes to, but I can never bring myself to throw a button away. I know that as soon as I do, I'll find the garment it goes to and then it'll... Wait a minute, could it be from the sweater? Did that sweater have buttons? Well, I should wrap this up before I start to ramble. Again, goodbye forever. P.P.S. You know, it might get chilly in London. I'm actually going to take the sweater. The note read, Oh god damn it, Lois is gonna lose her shit. Naruto thought in a panic. Okay, I gotta go find a way to get Stewie quickly, Naruto thought to himself as he figured he had time to go find Stewie. Hey, I have an important errand to run, I'll be back soon, Naruto said as he started to leave the house. Okay, don't forget your fight with Jason Hook is in 5 days, Lois said with a smile as she poked her head out of the kitchen to say goodbye. Naruto nodded as he left, knowing that was something he'd have to deal with since it was Roger in disguise. Soon Naruto hopped into his car and drove towards the direction of the airport and searching for Stewie. As he approached the airport, he spotted Stewie walking out of the parking lot and towards the airport itself. Naruto quickly parked the car in front of Stewie, blocking his way before jumping out of the car. What the deuce? Stewie exclaimed just as Naruto stopped him in his tracks. Okay, I know you're pretty much the smartest one in Quahog, but this is the dumbest move you could pull, Naruto told him. Oh please. Dealing with the vile woman, the dog, and the lummox on top of the fat man and such? I don't need those fools, Stewie said simply. You say that, but you do realize you can't get in a plane on your own, Naruto pointed out. Oh, I was planning to hijack the plane and kill the captain if needed, Stewie said with a dismissive tone. You do realize they have air marshals now with shoot-to-kill orders, right? Naruto asked, raising an eyebrow at this. You say that as if I'd be an issue for me to kill those pathetic fools, Stewie said. Naruto groaned at this, feeling like he was arguing in circles. Okay, you want to go to London? Then let's go, he said firmly. What? Stewie asked, surprised at this. That's right. I have a few days before my next match, and you're obviously not gonna listen to me until you go to Jolly Farm, so let's go, Naruto said as he turned to a valet who was approaching and handed him his car keys. Careful, if you scratch the car, I'm scratching your ass, he said as the valet took the keys to go park the car. Haha, yes, let's go, Stewie exclaimed happily and excitedly. Just stick with me, kid, we can make this a field trip, Naruto said as he led Stewie into the airport to go get their tickets. Think of it how you wish, but soon I shall be on Jolly Farm, Stewie grinned as they got in line. Whatever you say, kid, just know if you change your mind I won't judge you, Naruto said with a knowing tone. Oh please, I have nothing keeping me in that hell shack. Stewie as he rolled his eyes. Later. Naruto and Stewie were now in their first-class seats waiting for the plane to leave. How long until we get there? Stewie asked. It takes at least 9 hours to get there, Naruto said simply. 9 hours? The bloody hell are we supposed to do for 9 hours? Stewie asked, shocked at this information. Naruto shrugged at this before he put on some headphones and put on some music and started to sing War. Oh bloody hell, stewardess, get me another bloody seat, Stewie yelled, not wanting to hear any singing. But unfortunately nobody could understand him. 9 hours later. Never. Sing. Again, Stewie grumbled out as the plane landed and they disembarked. Naruto snickered at this, glad his prank had went over well before his phone buzzed a bit after it back on. He saw he had a ton of texts and calls from his girls. Ah crap, I knew I forgot something, Naruto said with a groan as he hit the speed dial for Meg. Ah, so your keepers don't know you left HM? Stewie asked with a smug grin. Oh please, they know full well I'm the one in charge and can do what I want, Naruto said with an eye roll as he called back a number. Where the F are you? Meg, Roberta, and Haley yelled over the phone after a few rings. Would you believe London with Stewie? Naruto asked with a sheepish chuckle. Don't lie to us. Where are you? Who are you really with? What's their chest size? Roberta yelled, not buying this for a moment. I swear to God. Look, Naruto said as he switched to video chat mode and turned the phone to Stewie, who was looking out the window of the airport at the city of London complete with Big Ben. You went to London without any of us? Harley yelled. I was trying to stop a runaway child. I couldn't exactly grab you guys first, babe, Naruto said as he turned the phone to look at Haley's image. Oh, for crying out loud, that runaway letter was legit, Meg asked, her face replacing Haley's as she took the phone. Should have burned that, Naruto grumbled under his breath. Does that mean she can understand me when I speak? Stewie asked curiously. Well, she is the smartest one in your family besides you, Naruto said with a shrug. Not much of an accomplishment, Stewie deadpanned. Oi, I'm a straight-a student peanut head, Meg yelled, clearly not amused with Stewie's comments. Ah yes, a straight-a student in a pathetic, wretched hellhole of a school, Stewie told his eyes. Ooh, oh, someone is getting use out of his word of the day calendar, Meg said with a snarky tone. At least I can use my mouth and voice for something other than, Stewie was saying before Meg cut him off. You rude little mother, Meg growled out. Okay girls, I'll be back within a few days, Naruto quickly said. With souvenirs, Roberta yelled over the phone. Yes, I will get you all souvenirs, Naruto chuckled. And a hot British slot, Roberta yelled. But I'm not so sure I gotta focus on babysitting short round here, Naruto said with a chuckle as he looked at Stewie. This got laughs from Meg, Roberta, and Haley. You suck, Stewie yelled, irritated and annoyed at this comparison. Okay, later girls, text me later, Naruto said as he smiled at his girls. See ya later, stud, Roberta giggled. Stay safe, babe, Haley said, smiling at Naruto. Later, sweetie, Meg said before all three hung up. Shall we continue to the studio now? Or do you wish to try something with some British harlot? Stewie asked. Nah, you're my priority right now, little man, Naruto said as he picked Stewie up. Hey, put me down, damn it, Stewie was yelling before Naruto put him on his shoulders. How's that? Got a better look? Naruto asked, smirking. It is very acceptable, whispered one. Now onward to Jolly Farm, Stewie said as he pointed ahead. Hee hee. All right, Naruto said before dashing off out of the airport until they hopped in a cab towards the TV studio. Later. After they had arrived at the TV studio, Naruto walked Stewie towards the building which was marked as the studio for taping Jolly Farm. Well, whispered one, it has been fun. But now Jolly Farm Review shall be my new home. Do me a favor though, when you return home give my regards to Lois and tell her I'll send her to hell at a later date, Stewie said. Okay, before you go I gotta ask why you want to kill your mom? Naruto asked curiously. She is always getting in the way of my work with her nonsense and prattling in my business, Stewie was saying before he was cut off. I get it, okay kid, have fun, Naruto said with a flat tone. Right, best of luck, whispered one, Stewie said before heading inside the studio. Naruto stood outside the studio and counted to 40 before he went inside after Stewie. Ah, Mother Maggie, something's wrong with Pengrove Pig, Stewie yelled as he hugged the actress's legs while she was smoking. Goh, someone get this little bastard off me? The actress yelled out as she scowled at Stewie as she moved her leg and sent him to the ground and making his eyes widen in surprise before his eyes started to tear up. Hey! Naruto yelled out, angrily scowling at seeing this as he approached the actress. What do you want? You that brat's father, the actress scowled. What the fuck is your problem? He's a fucking kid, you used up slag, Naruto yelled as he got in the woman's face. This got silence from the studio as they didn't expect this. Used up slag? How dare you talk to me like that, you wanker, the actress glared. I dare cause this kid is important to me, and if you don't watch your tone with kids, I'll train a rat to bite that mole off your face, Naruto yelled as he glared at the actress. I don't have a mole, ya idiot, the actress scoffed. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me make one. Naruto glared as he grabbed the actress by her face and was about to dig his fingernail into her left cheek before a man in a suit ran over to them. Whoa, sir, I'm so sorry about my actress's actions. I have warned her about her attitude with kids before, the man said. Oh, have you? All the more reason for me to hear this bitch scream, Naruto glared. Sir, rest assured, she will be reprimanded now. If you just let her go, I'm sure I can make it up to your little friend, the suited man said, hoping to avoid an incident or lawsuit. You're gonna keep that pretty face unscarred cause of him. I'd change your attitude if I were you, though. Ain't no one gonna plow you with those wrinkles and gray hairs coming in, Naruto told the actress before he let her go. The actress nodded rapidly at this before Naruto let her go. I do sincerely apologize for her. I didn't expect Quahog's Riptide to be here in London with a child. No one said you were visiting, the suited man. Well, my little friend here is a big fan, and I decided to bring him here, Naruto said as he approached Stewie and picked him up. I see. Wasn't there a security guard out front? The man in the suit asked. Guy let me in for an autograph and a selfie, Naruto said with a chuckle. He's so fired, the suited man groaned. Oh well, I'll have a chat with him later. Now what can I do to make this whole thing up to you, little guy? The suited man asked Stewie. Oh, I didn't really expect this, Stewie said aloud. If I make a suggestion, I've heard rumors that you guys have been trying to make an Americanized version of the show in Quahog, Naruto said. Indeed, we are in the process of making that deal, the suited man said. Tell you what, you get my little friend here an audition when that happens, and we can call it square, Naruto suggested. That's it? You got it. I'll even throw in some toys to sweeten the deal in case he doesn't get the part, the suited man said as he went to get a contract for them to sign. Stewie smiled at this and nodded at this as Naruto carried him to a chair to sit down. Sorry about that. I figured letting you see the show was just an act would be best, but I didn't expect the actress playing the lead to be a catch you next Tuesday, Naruto said as he glared at the actress who was nearby who quickly ran off. I don't know what that means. What exactly is it? Stewie asked, confused. It's a clean version of a bad word, Naruto explained. A word you are not old enough to hear yet. It's not important though. Say since we're in London, why don't we see a few sights and get some food before we book a flight back, Naruto suggested. You know what I think I'd like that, Naruto, Stewie said. Oh, I'm Naruto now? What happened to Whiskered One? Naruto asked with a grin. You have been upgraded to friend, so when I rule the world you will be spared along with any of your women. I'll just give you a tropical island in the world to retire to, Stewie said. I want Hawaii, Naruto said, deciding to hedge his bets just in case Stewie really did take over. Done, Stewie said, nodding at this. And I want you to stop attempting to kill your mom, Naruto said firmly. I respectfully decline, Stewie said. What if she becomes one of my women? You said they wouldn't be harmed, Naruto pointed out with a smirk. Blast! Stewie yelled, seeing that he was in a checkmate. Them's the breaks, little man, come on, let's get some McDonald's, Naruto said with a grin as he saw the businessman returning with a contract and a big gift basket. I want to make a stop in Mother Maggie's dressing room first and leave a present in her shoes, Stewie said with a grin of his own. Oh hell yes, Naruto grinned vindictively as he picked up Stewie to do just that after they signed the contract. A day later, back in Quahog. We're home, Naruto yelled as he entered the Griffin's home with Stewie dragging several bags. Oh, welcome back, boys. How was the beach? You know, next time you should ask me ahead of time for this, Naruto, Lois said as she picked up Stewie from Naruto. Naruto paused at this and spotted Meg at the stairs, who nodded at him and figured she had covered for them. Yay, sorry, but the little guy wanted to spend more time with me and I figured better me than fat boy, Naruto said with a sheepish chuckle. It's all right. Just next time talk to me about it first. Did you enjoy your time with Naruto, sweetie? Lois said to Naruto before she talked to Stewie. Stewie nodded, seeing as he knew Lois wouldn't understand a thing he said anyways. Good. I suppose it couldn't be helped since the free tickets for the beach house required a baby to get them, Lois said. Naruto looked at Meg with a raised eyebrow at this as Lois went upstairs. We were high at the time, get off my back, Meg said with a sheepish chuckle. Wait, is that why my stash was low? Brian asked Meg as he hadn't taken a hit in a few weeks. That was me, Ellie said sheepishly. They got some of my stash, so I dipped into yours, she explained to her boyfriend. Before the conversation could continue, the door to the Griffin household was booted open as Roger showed up with slicked back black hair and a goatee, wearing a white tank top and green shorts. I'm gonna guess you're Jason Hook, Naruto said deadpan at Roger's persona. You're damn right I am, Maelstrom. Now listen and listen up. I need to speak with you before Roger fight in a few days. Mano a mano. Ya dig it? Roger asked. Sure. Let's talk, Naruto said, gesturing to speak outside with the disguised alien. All right, Roger, what do you want? If this is some scheme to have me take a dive, I don't do that. Naruto told him firmly as they left the house and went to the backyard. Not at all. You're not the one who's gonna take a dive. I am, Roger said with a smirk. Elaborate, Naruto said after a moment, figuring he should hear Roger out. Alright, so Jason Hook back in Langley Falls was undefeated in the ring. Mostly because I chloroformed my opponents with my left hook. What I propose is I take a dive for you instead. Shock the world that I lost, since the bets will mostly be in my favor as opposed to you. Meanwhile, I'll put in some bets as some different personas in your favor and collect a massive amount of money. You get your match without actually fighting me, and I get a huge payday. It's a win-win, Roger told him. I want a 50% cut, Naruto said after a few moments of thought. 25% and I'll throw in a pair of Francine's panties I stole, Roger said, holding up a pair of lace panties. 30 and I don't clock you now for stealing her panties, Naruto deadpanned. Deal. I am guessing you want the money in untraceable bills? Roger asked curiously as he and Naruto shook hands. No, I want to get busted for this scam. Of course they need to be untraceable, Naruto told him. Alright. Geez, you need to get laid or something. You seem stressed, Roger said, holding up his hands. Sorry, it's been a hell of a day, Naruto sighed out apologetically. It's fine. Welp, if you need me for anything, text me. I have a victim to hunt down, Roger said before walking off. Oh, Stan? Where are you? Roger called out as he walked into the darkness of the streets. "Oh, for fuck's sake, you let that moron loose," Naruto asked with a scowl at hearing this. "Hey, cut me a break. He's CIA and trained in espionage. Besides, it turns out the chains I bought were faulty. That reminds me I need to get a refund for them," Roger said. "You bought chains specifically to hold a CIA agent and now want a refund," Naruto's deadpanned. "I never bought them. I got them for free after I went to Home Depot. There was this hot guy as a cashier that I ended up BL," Roger was saying till Naruto held up a hand. "Nope, I don't need to hear you go all stolas on what you did with the guy," Naruto said as he shuddered. "Oh, I love that show, though I think I'm more a blitzo." "Oh, new Halloween outfit picked," Roger said with a grin at this realization. "Yeah, you're not wrong. All right, good luck with whatever you plan to do that I legally do not want to know so I can't be implicated," Naruto told Roger. "Yup, see you at the fight Maelstrom," Roger said before pulling out a crowbar. "Come on out, Stanny boy," Roger called out, walking away. Naruto shook his head at this as he walked home. With Stan. "Oh, Stanny boy, come out and play," Roger called out as Stan was currently hiding in a tool shack in the Griffin family backyard, waiting for Roger to be far away before he made a break for it. The first thing he wanted to do was find some clothes so he wasn't naked in the dead of night. Then he wanted a bucket of chicken. And finally he wanted his gun so he could shoot Roger, followed by the blonde bastard that ruined his life. As he put on some overalls he found in the shed started to shake. "And I'm taking my tool shed too, Lois," Peter's voice was heard yelling outside the tool shed. "Go right ahead, just go already. It's not like you ever fix anything around here anyways, you jackass," Lois was heard yelling from the house. "Hehehehe, sucker. I keep my backup beer in this shed," Peter giggled before opening the door to the shed and seeing Stan getting dressed. I can explain," Stan said placatingly. "Did you drink my beer?" Peter asked. No," Stan said as he had no idea the shed even had beer till Peter mentioned it. "Then do what you want. Hell, make as much trouble for Lois or that Naringo guy as you want," Peter said with a scowl. "You hate that whiskered bastard too?" Stan asked as he raised an eyebrow at Peter. "He got me kicked out of my house and my wife divorcing me," Peter grumbled. "Me too. Now I have to find myself a new place and hide from Roger," Stan groaned. "I don't know who Roger is, but if you're looking for a place, I know an apartment building downtown. They probably have some apartments available, or if you want, I'm rooming there and could use a roommate actually. I'd have asked Quagmire, but seeing as the whiskered bastard got him to leave the country, that won't ever happen." "No," Peter scowled. "He made an American citizen leave our great country. Despicable," Stan said, also scowling at this. "Yeah, come on buddy, follow me, maybe we can work together to try and deal with that blonde bastard," Peter offered. "Sounds good to me. Let's go get some payback," Stan smirked as he followed after Peter. James Woods High. Naruto was driving towards the school with Meg, Roberta, and Haley in the car with him. "So let me get this straight. While I was gone, Peter and Lois had a weekend meeting with Principal Shepard about Chris peeking on a girl in the locker room. Peter ran into an old teacher of his and convinced him to stop taking a medicine that kept him from going all crazy, and he decided to throw nearly extinct condor eggs off the roof?" Naruto asked, baffled at what he was being told. "Yup, which he's lucky that he just lost his job," Haley said with a scowl at the fact that said teacher had done such a thing to an endangered species eggs. "Yeah, and now fat ass is running against mom for school board to try and get him his job back," Meg sighed. "Good God, I hope your mom actually becomes school board president," Naruto groaned aloud. "Well, their debate on TV is tonight. But, oh my God," Meg said wide-eyed before everyone turned and to look at the school, and saw a giant billboard on the front lawn of Lois in pink lingerie with the words, "Do you want this slut as school board president? If not, then vote Peter Griffin." "Whoa, your mom is stacked," Roberta said as she took out her phone and took a picture of the billboard before Haley slapped the back of her head. "That's it. I'm strangling the fat bastard with his own entrails," Meg scowled before seeing Naruto with his mouth agape at the billboard. "You're drooling, sweetie," Meg deadpanned. "Heh, sorry," Naruto said as he wiped his mouth on his sleeve. "Guess you didn't plow her yet, huh?" Roberta smirked at Naruto. It's on my to-do list. I want to wait for the divorce to go through so Fat Boy can't use it against her, Naruto explained. Smart move, Haley said as she nodded understanding this as he did the same with her mother. It won't matter whether the divorce goes through when I kill the fat bastard, Meg growled out angrily. Meg, calm down. If anyone's gonna kill the bastard it'll be me, so none kf you go to jail, Naruto said with a growl. Oh please, if I know Meg's mom she's gonna have first dibs. She cut your gramps brake cables for FS sake, Roberta said as she rolled her eyes. She what? Naruto asked not knowing that tidbit. Nice one, Roberta, Haley said with an annoyed look at her friend. Oh please, he's not gonna narc, Roberta said smirking at Naruto knowingly. Nah, I wish I had known though so I could have helped her send him off to hell, Naruto smirked. I'm just curious how fat ass thought up a plan this good to get one over on mom, Meg said as she saw several people walking by with Peter's pins which were being passed out by. And remember, a vote for Lois is a vote for a whore, Stan yelled smirking passing out Peter's pins. Oh god damn it, Haley said with a scowl at her father. Oh good, another person on my shit list. Does Quagmire want to show up too? You know, bring out the entire trifecta of people that I want to bury in shallow graves, Naruto growled. Here Haley spread the word, Stan said as he held out a button to his daughter. Not a effing chance, Haley said scowling at her father. Yeah, her future baby daddy hates pins, Roberta said with a grin as she had out her phone to record Stan's reaction to what she just said. What? You're pregnant? From this immigrant? Stan yelled out in shock. Okay, first off, no, I'm not pregnant, you moron, and second off, he's legally a citizen. Haley said scowling. I would prefer if you were with that worthless pothead over him, Stan yelled pointing at Naruto. Hey, I smoke pot too, and unlike that pothead, I actually made your daughter climax, Naruto said with a smirk, knowing how much Stan hated pot along with the climax line to further piss him off. Do you want me to shoot you? Stan asked growling as he reached for his gun. He's got a gun, Meg yelled causing some students to scream in a panic as an alarm was set off. Wait, what? Oh come on, Stan yelled as he was tackled by running students. You know this reminds me of how I pounced on your ex-wife and her hot sister. Only with less screaming, Naruto smirked at Stan as he got trampled. Don't forget me too, Big Daddy, Haley said with a smirk as they watched Stan get trampled by the running students. I'll kill you one day, Stan groaned out as the trampling finally stopped. Yeah, and Bush was a good president, Naruto said with a sarcastic tone making Haley laugh. Listen, as much as I'd love to hear you babble on until the inevitable heat death of the universe, I have far more important things to do. Mainly your ex-wife in bed. So sayonara Stan, I'd say it's been fun, but much like Francine saying you satisfied her I'd be lying, Naruto said smirking as he turned around. Stan growled in anger at this as Naruto and his girls walked away from him. I'll kill him and get Haley and Francine away from him. I don't care what I have to do, but I will make sure it happens. First I'll call that idiot Jeff and see if I can lure Haley away from that immigrant, Stan thought as he tried to stand up from the ground. Later at the Griffin family household. He did what? Lois yelled angrily as Naruto, Haley, Meg, Roberta, Jillian, Amanda, and Lana were in the living room along with Ellie, Brian, Chris, and Stewie. Yeah, looks like Peter has a new best friend who's helping him with his plans, Naruto said as he shook his head. I also found this when I was walking around town, Jillian said holding up a small poster of Lois in her pink lingerie. I wanted to know where you got it from, Jillian said with a smile, not understanding the full situation. I'll explain it to her later. I found a bunch as well and tore them down. My classroom was littered with them on the walls, Lana said as she was in class ready to teach before Stan's actions caused an early dismissal. I'm gonna kill him. He will be lucky if I stop at just a beating, Lois growled as she clenched her teeth and took several breaths. Here, this'll help, Ellie said handing her a baseball bat. Ellie, what have I told you about handing people intending to inflict violence baseball bats? Naruto asked as he looked at his friend. If I'm gonna do it, give them the good stuff and don't cheap out, Ellie said as Lois snatched the bat and took a few practice swings with it. I mean yes, but I meant the other lesson. Make sure it has razor wire wrapped around it, Naruto told her. I'm letting some rust in the tub, Ellie said simply. Good dog, Naruto said with a smile at his friend. Hey family, guess who just got named school board president? Peter exclaimed grinning as he barged into the house. Guess who just got a new baseball bat? Lois yelled as she raised her bat over her head. Roberta, Naruto said with a smile at his girlfriend. Recording already stud, Roberta smirked as she already had her phone out. Oh, did Chris finally make the baseball team? Peter asked before Lois lunged at him and swung her bat in the fat man's face, sending him to the floor, sending some teeth flying. Ah, Lois, stop, Peter begged as he held his jaw. What's that? You say I should take another swing? Lois yelled as she raised her bat again. That's not what I said at all. Ah, Peter yelled as he rolled away from Lois next to sing. You better run, fatty. I think we are gonna find out where Stewie got his anger from, Naruto said with a smile as Stewie was sitting next to him watching. I must say this is most entertaining. Go Lois, go for the kidney, Stewie exclaimed giddily. Ah, I think you smashed my kidney, Peter yelled as he ran outside as another crack of the bat was heard. Ah, the sound of Major League Baseball bats hitting dimwits, Meg said with a smile. Should we stop her before the cops get involved? Amanda asked. Nah, I called Joe. He is giving Lois 3 minutes of whooping Peter's ass, Naruto said with a smile. How'd you manage that? Haley asked curiously. He's a good guy when you point out the laws Peter and Stan have broken. Also, I got him and Bonnie some stuff to help their relationship for free as a sign of goodwill, Naruto explained. Did you drug them? Roberta asked with a raised eyebrow. No, I did not. I called in a favor to a high-end marriage counselor who isn't biased, Naruto admitted. Ah, how sweet, Jillian said, gushing at that. Oh God, my leg, Peter was heard screaming as another crack of the bat was heard. Where was all that talk before? Now you're just screaming like a little beach, Lois yelled before another crack was heard. Ah, my balls, Peter yelled in pain. That's hot, Naruto said with a smirk at this. How much longer is her 3 minutes? Lana asked. Let's see, Joe texted me. It looks like he raised it from 3 minutes to 10 minutes. Naruto smirked. Wait, Lois, what are you doing with that bat now? No, wait. Ah, it's just like the bull again, Peter screamed. Oh, you took it from that bull, so take it, Beach, Lois shouted as Peter screamed more. Oh wow, she has a sadistic streak, stud, Roberta said as her eyes widened along with the others. Dear God, if I wasn't waiting for the divorce, I'd plow her now right outside, Naruto admitted. Well, I feel better, Lois said, re-entering the house. Enjoy the bat, Mr. President, Lois yelled outside before she slammed the door shut. God help you if you cross her, babe, Haley's whispered to Naruto, a smirk on her face. Naruto chuckled nervously at this, making a mental note to remember this just in case. Well, that was fun. Who's up for Chinese? Lois asked with a smile, getting nods from everyone. James Woods High School, Tuesday morning. After the brutal beatdown of Peter by Lois the night before, Naruto drove himself and his girls to school, knowing that Peter as school board president would be an absolute nightmare. Remember the rules, Haley said as Naruto parked the car. No retaliating against fat-ass Naruto, and Meg said with a bored tone, as if they had been saying this consistently for 2 hours straight. I'm serious, you too? There's no need to fight against Mr. Griffin, Haley told them. Yeah, and if you're good we can play later, Roberta said with a grin as she wrapped her arms around Naruto and Meg, making them smile as they walked through the school doors. Hey, no PDA by order of the school board president, Peter Griffin, a senior student wearing a hall monitor vest said. What you say, you fucking narc, Haley yelled as she quickly stomped towards the senior before Naruto grabbed her arms and held her back. Easy, babe. What did you tell me about losing my cool? Naruto tried to soothe her. F that. Fat ass just declared war. I'll gut him, Haley yelled as she was too filled with rage. I would run, dumb ass, she's trained, and with a word she will do things that would make Mortal Kombat look tame. Hell, I'm about to join her in whooping your ass if you don't run away right the hell now, Roberta said to the senior. Fine, but arm's length from your girls, Uzumaki. Mr. Smith, the assistant to the school board president, warned me of you. the senior told Naruto with a firm tone before walking away. Noted narc, Naruto said as he continued to hold Haley back. That means stop hugging her, the senior yelled. Okay, Naruto said after a few moments of silence before he smiled brightly and let Haley go. Good to know you can listen to author it, oh god, the senior was saying before Haley tackled him like a linebacker to the ground before she started sending punch after punch at the idiot's face. Uncle, uncle, he cried. Weak-ass beach, Haley yelled before she spat on him as she stood up. Welcome students to the first day of term with a new school board president, Stan greeted walking out the door. Now whoa Charlie, what happened to you? Stan asked the senior. Yay Charlie, what happened? Meg asked with an evil smile at the senior while Haley punched her locker leaving a dent in the door. I fell down some stairs, Charlie responded before coughing up some blood. Huh, well anyway you lot in Lockhart's class will be going to study hall for the foreseeable future, Stan said as he looked at the students heading to Lana's class. What did you do? Haley asked with a glare at her sperm donor. Mr. Griffin decided that she was not suited to teach our students seeing as she was distracting the male students and several females with her looks, so she was given a year's pay and dismissed. Stan said, but damn she had a hot rack, he said with a goofy grin. Aka fat ass is being petty and decided to take it out on one of the few teachers that like Naruto, Meg said with a flat tone. Ah yes, that reminds me. Mr. Uzumaki, due to some renovations, your original locker has been removed, but we have given you a suitable replacement, Stan told him handing Naruto the location and combination for his new locker. Way to be subtle ball chin, Roberta said with a scoff at this, as only Naruto's locker being affected was a tough story to accept. Detention, Mr. Uzumaki, Stan told him. Oh, if I'm getting detention, I'll get it for something I say not one of my girls. For instance, your ex-wife loves to choke on my shaft, Naruto told him with a smirk. A week of detention for you and your gaggle of whores, Stan yelled before he stomped off with a growl. You call that an insult? At least he can last longer than it takes to boil an egg, Haley yelled after her dad. I told Francine that in confidence. I mean 2 weeks detention, Stan yelled before finally passing a corner and walking away. We may have 2 weeks detention, but that was effing worth it, Roberta smirked. Yeah, it was. All right, I'll meet you guys at study hall once I find this new locker, Naruto told his girls. And to call Lana right? Haley asked, raising an eyebrow at her boyfriend. Yeah, I'll give her a quick call out of sight before class. Naruto confirmed, if I'm correct those idiots gave me a locker not on a camera or anything so I can call her from there. Suckers bet there, Meg said with a scoff as Naruto walked upstairs to get to his new locker. Rooftop. You gotta be shitting me, Naruto deadpanned, seeing a lone locker on the rooftop with his name on it. Alright, I'm taking photos of this, Naruto growled out as he took photos of this as evidence with his phone before calling Lockhart. Hello, Lana answered. Hey, I heard what happened. Are you doing okay? Naruto asked as he looked over the rooftop. I'm fine. A bit pissed, but Fat Boy gave me a year's pay, so at least there's that. Apparently he needed to make room on the staff to rehire Fargus, Lana told him. Oh god damn it, Naruto groaned out, pinching his eyebrow. It's fine, sweetie, I might actually have a new job lined up thanks to an old friend, and I can always be your main ring girl in the meantime, worst case, Lana told him. You can always move in with me if you want to save money, Naruto pointed out with a smile. That could be fun, but let's see how this interview goes first before I decide if I want to be your little at-home sex pet, Lana said with a husky tone. God, if it wasn't freezing on this rooftop, I'd be hard, Naruto admitted. Rooftop? Lana questioned, confused. Those idiots are targeting me and got rid of my locker, so now I have one on the roof, Naruto explained. Is that even legal? Lana questioned. Probably not. We'll look into it later. Either way, I'm gonna keep tabs on all the shit those two pull for evidence, Naruto told her. Well, stay tough, and if you need some relief, I can still be your at-home tutor, Lana purred. God, I'm going to wreck you later, Naruto smirked. Lana laughed at this before she hung up. Naruto put his phone away before going off to class. After school. Where the F is my car? Naruto asked, coming out to the parking lot along with his girls. Toad. Parking is for faculty and athletes only, Stan said with a smirk, sitting in the now empty parking spot on a lawn chair, and because your boxing isn't a school-sanctioned sport, you don't count as an athlete. He told Naruto. Must feel good to abuse your power, huh? You know, being the lapdog to an idiot like Peter. What pisses you off more? That you're lower on a totem pole than that retard, or that I'm plowing your ex-wife, her sister, and your daughter here with my totem pole? Naruto asked with a smirk as he wrapped his arm around Haley. Yeah, I mean, who's the bigger idiot? The idiot or his minion? Haley asked with a smirk. What's worse is technically fat ass is mentally retarded, Meg said with a grin of her own. This got a snort of laughter from Naruto, while Haley and Roberta burst out laughing. I'll have you know Peter Griffin is a wise man, Stan told them, staining to finish saying this. Wow, that hurt, didn't it? Naruto asked with a knowing grin, as he could tell Stan really struggled to say all that. You can't stand anyone being higher up than you, huh? You're a narcissistic egomaniac with a god complex. Naruto mocked him. Be quiet, Stan growled. Aw, touched a nerve, didn't I? Go ahead and do something about it. Attack a student. See what happens to you and your owner, you yapping purse dog, Naruto smirked as he and his girls walked away from Stan. 1 week later. Don't snap, don't snap. For the love of God, don't snap. Naruto thought, his eye twitching, as this week had been literal hell for him. He was taking pot shots at Stan and even Peter when he could, but not actually being able to retaliate to these two idiots was making him go crazy. To the point he was using his study hall to hang out in the library before he committed cold-blooded murder. You all right, Naruto? You seem a bit tense, Steve asked as him and Chris sat down at his table. Honestly, no. Your dads are making my life hell. Not blaming you two, of course, as their faults are theirs, Naruto told them. Oh yeah, Haley has been ranting about what Dad's been pulling to Mom. My condolences, Steve said with a wince. Really? I'm surprised you're not taking his side considering my relationship with your mom, sister, and aunt, Naruto said as he raised an eyebrow. Beyond the harem stuff, you're a cool guy, dude. Just don't mention that stuff around me and we're cool. Besides, I'll admit you're a step up from my dad considering you haven't shot me, Steve told him as he shook his head. Didn't your dad once accuse your mom of having an affair because he found out you were a geek? Chris asked curiously. That and the fact I have auburn hair. Dumbass never knew Mom bleached her hair, Steve deadpanned. What about you, Chris? You're okay with me? Naruto asked curiously. Sure, you're nice to me unlike other popular kids, and while Dad is fine sometimes, like with him giving me these cool magazines, I don't think he should be, Chris was saying, holding up a Hustler magazine. You have pawn mags? Naruto and Steve asked, surprised, as while this wasn't that odd for a teen Chris's age, it was odd he had them at school. Yeah, Dad gave them to me. I've got my locker full of them. I've been handing them out to my friends, Chris explained with a smile. Chris, you're officially on my friend list, Naruto asked as he smiled evilly as a plan formed in his head before he took out his phone. Awesome, Chris yelled as he grinned. Could I borrow one of those? Steve asked Chris. Hours later. It was hours later and Naruto was sitting inside the school library waiting, and he smiled as he saw Peter and Stan walk into the library with some people from the media following him, one of which was a Japanese woman with short black hair. She had DD cup melons, a toned body, and a heart-shaped ass. This was Trisha Takenawa. As you can see, Miss Takenawa, our students are hard at work under Mr. Griffin's new programs, Stan said as they entered the library. I owe Mr. Peterschmidt for this, Naruto smirked as he had asked Carter to contact the media to oust Peter from his new position. Carter agreed in a heartbeat considering how much he hates Peter. I can see that. Excuse me, young man, may we see what you're reading? Trisha asked, turning to a male student who held up a novel only for a pawn magazine to fall from in between the book. Getting gasps from the media. Hey, that's mine, Peter yelled, getting everyone to turn to him. Naruto snorted at this while he slapped his face as he couldn't believe Peter was this stupid. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for this, Stan tried to placate the media. We have had reports that you have also been vindictive against certain students, Mr. Griffin. Is this true? Trisha asked as she put her microphone to Peter's face. Thank you, Mr. Peterschmidt, Naruto thought, seeing his opening to deliver the killing blow. He doesn't need to say a thing. I have the proof right here, Naruto said, getting attention from Trisha. Don't listen to him. He's just an immigrant delinquent, Stan yelled without thinking. And you are young Ma. Wait, you're the riptide Naruto Uzumaki, are you not? Trisha asked, recognizing Hickam. That's me, miss, and yes, I'm still in school, though it's been pretty rough thanks to Mr. Griffin and Smith targeting me with their bullying. And all the proof is right here on this phone of my, Naruto was saying, but Trisha cut him off. Oh, make love to me, Riptide. I take you home. I make you fishball soup. Fishball. Trisha yelled as she hugged his leg, started to hump it like a crazed animal. Make it ramen instead? Naruto asked after a few moments of thought. Done, Trisha yelled before she suddenly composed herself. We can edit that out, correct? Trisha asked as she got to her feet, remembering she was being recorded for her report. This is live, Miss Takenawa, the cameraman reminded her. He was admittedly a little weirded out by her behavior just now. I see, back to matters at hand. You inferred that Mr. Uzumaki here is an illegal immigrant just now, Mr. Smith? Trisha asked, looking towards him. I'm legal, you xenophobic moron, Naruto said with a flat tone, while Stan went to say something but stopped as Naruto took out his ID for the camera to see. I've told him this multiple times, yet he still hurls slurs at me. And seeing as Mr. Griffin just admitted the dirty magazines were his, are these really the kind of people parents would want their children around? Naruto asked into the microphone. With Lois. Back at the Griffin household, Lois was in the kitchen looking over the newspaper, looking at the work ads. Hey Lois, there's a report on the news you want to see. The school is on it, Brian yelled from the living room. Unless it's Peter getting embarrassed. I'm not interested, Brian, Lois told him, not looking up from her paper. And if it were exactly that? Ellie asked. This better be good, Lois said as she got up and walked into the living room. And all the proof you have is right here of these two's abuse of power, Naruto said, holding up his phone and showing a video of Peter and Stan causing him in particular a living hell for no reason at all. Detentions literally because of hatred, recorded threats and conversations, all heard and seen on the air. Wow, those two only lasted a few weeks, Ellie said as the report continued. And let's not forget giving out dirty magazines to his son and his friends at this school, Naruto said with a vindictive grin at Peter and Stan. You son of a bitch, Peter growled out before live on camera. Unable to control his temper, he ran at Naruto and took a swing. Before Naruto caught his arm and easily judo flipped Peter over his shoulder, slamming him into a bookshelf, breaking it and knocking it over. And attacking a student on live television. I think that was the final nail in the coffin, Naruto said, looking into the camera as if he hadn't flipped a 300-pound man like it was nothing. I would say so. Okay crew, we have what we need, let's get moving. The cameraman yelled to the rest of the crew, who all quickly followed him out of the library. Mr. Uzumaki, would you mind accompanying us to the studio? Seeing as you have the evidence, we need it for our story, especially any details we cover later. Trisha asked as she approached Naruto. Depends. Are you doing anything tonight, Miss Takenawa? Naruto asked as he smiled at the woman as he followed her out of the library. Oh, please call me Trisha. As for what I'll be doing later, what do you have in mind? She asked with a smile. Oh, you know, some dinner and maybe some dessert. Naruto told her with a smirk on his lips, stressing the word dessert. I accept, Trisha said with a smile as they walked out of the school, leaving Peter and Stan alone. You're gonna shamelessly flirt with some Asian tart when you're already with my daughter? Stan yelled after Naruto as he followed them out of the library. Damn straight he is, Haley yelled. Wreck her stud, she yelled, announcing her presence in the hallway behind Stan. You shame our family name, Haley, by being with that immigrant, Stan glared at her. Oh, every effing night I shame your name while he slams that fat shaft into my cont after Mom and Aunt Gwen slobber all over it. Haley smirked as she walked past Stan. You're a disgrace, a failure to the name Smith. Steve is my only true child now, Stan yelled after Haley as she left. Leave me out of this, Steve deadpanned as he walked past him, trying not to draw any attention. Oh, come on, Steve. What did I ever do to you? Stan asked with a scoff. Do you want the list in alphabetical or chronological order? Steve asked with sarcasm in his tone before he walked away from his father. That immigrant has poisoned my family against me. You're both failures now, Stan yelled after his son, who ignored him. Later with Naruto. So how long till Fat Boy and Ball Chin get the boot? Naruto asked into his phone as he drove home from the news station. Oh, not long, my boy. I figure with that attack attempt on you and a few good words about my daughter whispered in some educator's ears, and they'll be gone by tonight, Carter told him through the speaker on his cell phone. Perfect. And now that this is done, I can focus on Jason Hook, Naruto said with a smirk, remembering his upcoming bout with Roger. Precisely. And I know you won't let me down, my boy, Carter said with an audible grin. Oh, I won't. Trust me on that, Naruto grinned. As Naruto hung up his phone, he saw he had an incoming call from Meg and answered it. What's up, Meg? Naruto asked. You got fat ass fired and didn't warn us? Meg yelled over the phone. Chris gave me sensitive information and I had to move. I couldn't exactly get a whole team together for this one as much as I wanted to. This was a time is of the essence to minimize collateral damage, Naruto explained. Okay, and you flirting with that Asian reporter was also part of that plan? Roberta asked, a audible smirk on her face. What? She's cute and I have a date with her, so leave my bedroom empty. She seems to be a thirsty one, Naruto smirked. Oh, we ain't complaining, stud, trust me. I'd love to see her give a report on how you tore her up the next day on the 6 o'clock news, Roberta giggled. Ignoring Roberta's girl boner, you did good, babe, so you earned that reporter as your next beach, Haley said. And if I asked you three to stand by if she passes out? Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow. Oh, we're here along with Jillian, Lana, and Amanda, Meg said with a smirk. Good, after the last few weeks I'm feeling frisky, so you girls prepare yourselves, Naruto said with a growl. Oh, we will, stud. See you later, Roberta purred out over the phone as the three hung up. This'll be a fun night, Naruto said with a smirk as he pulled into his driveway. His girls had already gotten home. Still have 2 hours before I'm picking up Trisha, so maybe I'll see how Lois is doing. Naruto mused as he walked over to the Griffin house and knocked. After a moment, Francine was the one who opened the door holding a glass of wine. Hey stud, what brings you here? Francine asked, clearly a bit tipsy as she was holding a bottle of wine. Just came to see how Lois was doing considering the news earlier. What are you doing here? Naruto asked with a smile at his MILF lover as she let him into the Griffin household. Oh, Gwen and I brought over some wine to celebrate those two morons getting the boot from their positions due to you. Such a brave, strong young man you are, Francine said with a grin as she pressed his face into her cleavage. Francine, I'm not here for that. I have a date tonight, actually, and it wouldn't be fair for me to miss it, Naruto told her as he pulled away from her. Hey Franny, you get that stripper yet? Lois yelled out, obviously drunk, as she sat on the couch next to Gwen, who was smoking a cigarette. How much wine did you bring over? Naruto asked Gwen as he approached. Roger gave us this huge ass bottle that was his size, Gwen said, holding her liquor the best. Ooh, we have a good stud here to help is celebrate, Lois purred out as she looked at Naruto getting up from the couch, stumbling a bit, obviously drunk. Lois, you're drunk, MPPPPHHHH. Naruto was saying before Lois grabbed him and shoved her tongue down his mouth and bit on his bottom lip as he grabbed his crotch. You've been good to me. So good I want to feel this anaconda of yours split open my cont. She grinned as she licked Naruto's whisker marks. Come on stud, you know you want to do this prime MILF ass, Francine yelled as she whooped. You got two horny MILFs wanting that beachbreaker stud. What do you say? Gwen asked with a smirk. Already made plans with the other girls, and as much as I would really love to do all three of you, Naruto was saying before he was cut off. Right, you like being fair to your girls, Gwen said as she smiled and shook her head as she knew she couldn't fault him for this. Yeah, if I didn't have a date with Trisha and plans with the others, I'd honestly tear all three of you up, Naruto admitted as he calmed himself. Taknawa? Nice. Can I at least get footage of you making her your slot? Lois asked with a grin as she flopped down on the couch. I'll have Meg and Haley send the video assuming she's fine being recorded, Naruto said as he headed for the door. Good. Oh, and Naruto, before you leave, there's one more thing, Lois giggled as she grabbed the bottom of her shirt. Yes? Naruto asked as he turned to face her, and his eyes widened as she pulled off her shirt, revealing her large, nude melons to the young man. "I'll be waiting and I'm open to anything, anything," she purred out. "Ooh, are we flashing Foxy?" Francine asked as she opened her dress to reveal her own melons. "I'm outta here. Have fun, ladies," Naruto said as he quickly left the house as he was feeling his willpower evaporate. "Heh," Lois said with a chuckle as she watched Naruto leave. "So, you want to screw around with me and Francine?" Gwen asked as she checked Lois out, liking what she saw. "Yeah, we can prep you for whiskers," Francine yelled with a smile. Yeah, I haven't been with another girl in a long while. Let's get effing crazy," Lois giggled as she led them upstairs. With Naruto. "Holy hell, I need to take a cold shower," Naruto muttered as he walked over to his house next door and opened his door to get ready for his date. "Oh, hi Foxy," Jillian greeted, wearing a pink bra and matching panties while sitting on the couch watching a movie. "I thought you had a date?" Lana asked, sitting next to Jillian wearing a black bra and matching panties. "Is today T's Naruto Day or something?" he asked, seeing their attire, making the two giggle. Okay, we had our fun. We're sorry, sweetie. Go get ready for your date. We'll be around later for you to peel these off of us," Lana told him with a smirk, gesturing to her bra. "Thanks," Naruto said before quickly running up the stairs to take a cold shower before his willpower fully disappeared, all while ignoring the giggles of his lovers. 2 hours later, Naruto parked his car in the parking lot in front of the restaurant called Angelo's. "All right, she should be inside," he said as he got out of his car wearing a black suit with a white undershirt and a dark orange tie. He entered the restaurant, and as soon as he opened the door he was met with Trisha waiting for him by the podium wearing a dazzling purple dress with matching heels. "Ah, there you are, Mr. Uzumaki," Trisha said, greeting him with a smile. "Please call me Naruto. Sorry I'm late, there was some road work going on so had to take a detour," Naruto told her. "You are forgiven as I only arrived 2 minutes ago due to the same road work," Trisha said as she waved off his apology as there was no issue. "Oh good. Let's get some food then," Naruto said, offering her his arm, which she gladly linked hers through as they approached the hostess stand. "Hello there. Table for 2 please," Naruto said to the hostess. "That will be a 45-minute wait. Wait a moment, you are the Riptide and Trichotechnawa. A table just opened up. A moment please," the hostess was saying before she recognized Naruto and quickly left Naruto and Trisha waiting at her podium as she approached a table where Stan was eating. "Mr. Smith, we need this table, but don't worry, we have a private booth set up for you," the hostess explained. "Ha! Now that's what I like to hear. All right then, lead the way," Stan said with a grin as he felt like he was being shown proper respect as the hostess led him to his booth before coming back and leading Trisha and Naruto to the table. "I didn't know you had private booths here," Naruto said as he pulled out the chair for Trisha to sit in. "Oh, we don't," the hostess told him. "You don't?" Naruto raised an eyebrow. "Then where'd you put old Ball-chin?" he asked curiously. "With Stan." Stan was in his private booth in the men's room, his plate on the toilet as he cut his steak with a knife when a man suddenly entered the stall and sat on his food to use the toilet, making Stan growl. Back with Naruto. "Ha, you made my night, miss here," Naruto said as he gave the hostess $100. "Thank you, sir. Your waiter should be here momentarily to take your drink orders," the hostess told them as she left them the menus. "So how'd the story go over with your coworkers?" Naruto asked Trisha after skimming the menu for a moment and finding what he wanted. "It went over quite well. Admittedly, Diane and Tom weren't very impressed, but they covered it nonetheless. Still, there were those within the studio who enjoyed it like Ollie," Trisha told him after finding what she wanted to eat. "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know your coworkers were dismissive of you like that," Naruto told her. "It's fine, they are always like that. Tom only cares about himself and his mustache. And Diane, well, she's a bit off at times," Trisha admitted as she looked over her menu. "I'm guessing drama?" Naruto asked, taking note of Trisha's bitter tone when mentioning the anchor woman. "A bit. Tom is arrogant, but he still acknowledges my reporting even if he doesn't care much for the subject. Diane, meanwhile, is very dismissive of everything I do and say off camera," Trisha told him. Ah, I get it. She's an insecure beach, right? Clinging to whatever notoriety she has as Quahog's main anchorwoman, right? Naruto asked with a smirk. You have no idea, Trisha said with a smirk, holding in her laughter. Well, if it makes you feel better, I've never liked either of them. They do their job fine, but you're the main reason I watch the news. I prefer reporters who cover any story, no matter how small or large, so long as the info gets passed on to the people, Naruto told her with a smile as their waiter came by to take their drink and food orders. An hour and a half later. After having a nice talk about their hobbies while they ate, the two left the restaurant to see Stan over by Trisha's car, shooting out one of her tires. Take that, you sleazy reporter, Stan grumbled. Damn it, Stan, don't you ever take a break? Naruto demanded before Stan held up his gun at Naruto. You ruined my life. My family was poisoned against me by you, Stan growled. You did that to your soul, what the F is that? Naruto was saying before he shouted and pointed behind Stan. Nice try. I'm not falling for that, you immigrant, Stan growled. Drop the gun, dirtbag, Joe yelled as he rolled up in his wheelchair behind Stan, holding up his own gun. I will not be made the enemy by these immigrants, Stan yelled as he took his eyes off Naruto to yell at Joe. Before Naruto grabbed his gun and pointed it up in the air before he slugged Stan hard in the jaw, making the CIA agent fall to the floor after spitting out some teeth. You're under arrest, you sack of crap, Joe yelled at the knocked-out Stan before turning to Naruto. Thanks for the assistance, Joe said as he cuffed Stan. No problem. How's the marriage counseling going, Joe? Naruto asked with a smile at the wheelchair-bound man. Oh, quite good. Bonnie and I have never been closer, and it's all thanks to your recommendation, Joe told him as Naruto handed him Stan's gun for evidence. Good to hear it. How long do you think he'll stay locked up this time? Naruto asked. He's a public menace, so I can probably get him at least 3 months behind bars. I'd like it to be more, but you know how the CIA is with their operatives, and unfortunately, he's well connected, Joe sighed out as he locked Stan up in the back of his police car nearby. So if I was to say keep baiting him into being a moron? Naruto asked curiously. It would have to be something that even the CIA would not want to be connected to hypothetically, of course, Joe explained. Of course, it's all hypothetical. Thanks, Joe. Well, Miss Takenawa, shall I give you a ride back to your house, seeing as your car is undrivable? Naruto asked. If you do not mind, I would actually like to head somewhere else, Trisha said with a smile. Oh, really? Naruto asked with a knowing grin. Let's go then, my dear, Naruto said with a smile as he led Trisha to his car, while Joe threw Stan into the cop car. Nice car. I see Mr. Peterschmidt pays you quite well, Riptide, Trisha said looking over the car. I told you to please call me Naruto, he chuckled out as he opened the door for her. Now, are you sure about this? Once you enter my car, there's no going back, Naruto told her with a smile. Please, if 3 high school teens can handle you, then I certainly can, Trisha said with a smirk as she got into the passenger seat. Well, to be fair, I go to school with them, and admittedly, they're not my only women, Naruto admitted as he got into the driver's seat. Of course they aren't. The Riptide of Japan requires many concubines. I still like my odds, Trisha said with a confident smirk. Oh, confident. We'll see how long that lasts, Naruto said as he drove the car to his house with his date for the evening. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 4. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author KFB Anime 87 on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.